chat's calling, grab your mug and settle in. We're unwrapping cases, rumors, filings, all the mess these folks get in. Lights are twinkling, drama sprinkling, same chaos, extra shine. It's a holiday hangout, so come on in and hit go live. Cozy blanket, courtroom antics, somehow both at once again. Every dark drop feels like Christmas when the tea comes rolling in. Chats laughing, mods are clapping, trying not to lose the plot. But if the filings go sideways, hey, at least the coat goes hard. Wrap the week up like a present, tie a bow on all the hype. If the judge says something spicy, we'll pretend that it was nice. From the chaos to the comfort, from the hearings to the cheer, pull up close, the stream is starting, it's our weird little time of year. It's a baker Christmas dream where the tea is warm and the kisses screen, lights are bright, chats in the zone, hit that play or not alone. It's a baker Christmas dream where the tea is warm and the kisses screen, lights are bright, chats in the zone, hit that play or not alone.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are, whoever you are, and what, if any, you might be. And welcome to this Myles King hearing today. Last time we had a Myles King hearing, we had confirmation that, at least according to Rosemary Scapicchio, the phone extracts from Trooper Proctor had some racial insensitive text in them. There was some talk about showing the judge some pictures, and I think because there was a mistake in one of her filings, she never got to it. We didn't hear about it. Maybe we'll catch that today, but that's the two main points that we got out of the Myles King hearing the last time. That confirmation, it's been talked about before that there was some form of disparaging text post about Black people in his phone, both colleagues and suspects, as far as we had heard the rumors. But I believe that set in open court, we probably have a really good idea that it's not too cromulent, whatever is in there. Today, we will have to see what, if any, things are talked about, because it's one of those, we don't really get anything and then we get a little bit of something, but we will be covering anyway. M. Spire says, what did the baker say when he hit his head? Dough. We are off to a rough start. Thank you, M. Spire. Did you have your names back? No. Yeah, we need a every Jessica put a 1 in chat just so we can count that all of you are present, because there's more Jessicas than anyone. Just back from the pub, had a nice pint and chicken shawarma with chips for lunch. Sounds nice. I'm not a big fan of chicken, but it sounds nice. No, your names are not back. It just looked like your names were back. Yeah, because there's normally not a 1 on Holly Mac. Hey, Jen. Hey, Judy. Hey, Laurie. Rosemary isn't there today. On the docket, it's both her and her daughter listed, but I believe she said she wouldn't be here today. But again, on the docket, both of them are listed because both of them are representing Myles King. And hello, Colorado Mountain Girl. Proctor's third need to come out and be seen. Well, you can't just release all of it because there are protections even for dirty cops. How I'm feeling? You were sounding full up this morning. I went out before we tried and failed doing the spaces, and got some nasal spray and stuff like that. It's winter time. We are a little stuffy. Not as rough as Brian Walsh doing his red rum shopping. That's why you go to Walmart. You can get everything in the murder aisle, and it doesn't look suspicious. Don't buy all of it at the same time, brother. Good morning, Mary Ellen. Catching live until work gets in the way, and I need to pause and end up 2 hours behind. Well, stupid work, but there are multiple cases slotted in as always at 9 o'clock. Are they going to go first? Are they going to go last? We are going to keep figuring out. Judge Corrupt has another thing listed for 10 o'clock. It's Massachusetts. They'll most likely be late. They will most likely go in a weird order, but we're here for it, and we don't have anywhere else to be. Can't believe you're still awake. I can send Jamie by and give her a hammer, fix that problem. Thank you, Christine. I thought we needed a little festive because Marissa is always, can we get more country? I'm like, no, Marissa, I know at heart you are a country girl, but no. And I'm not going to make that song you want. I want to ride a cowboy. I think it's inappropriate. This is a good Christian channel, and maybe for the nighttime shows. I want to note for the record, and after further research, that Denmark can, in fact, into space. I extend my apologies to the Danish nations, but I won't apologize to Poland. Never apologize to Poland. Poland is only good for two things: cheap cigarettes and cheap labor, and beer. Beer is good in Poland as well. So go down there, Grant, and get some beero. I succeeded in changing my name back. I had to add a number next to my nickname, and it worked. It's just annoying. Go back to the old way. Hey, Jazz. I think I'm the only Holly here. That has to be worth something, right? You are my number one Holly. What's up, Sue? Well, probably some. I don't know. Kyle, thank you for reaching out, and yes, I'll try. I don't cover the Walsh case, so I can do all of these little things that runs next to it. Hey, Jen. Big Pork Chop. That's the name. Yeah, the government always wants to protect the bad, corrupt cops. They will never show us how bad they really is and won't process Proctor. No, he got fired, and that's what they're going to do. They're not going to do anything about it because cops are cops. But at the same time, even a bad cop do have the same protections under the law like you and I have. And you can't just go out there and just throw out his phone extractions because there might be nudes in there. Funny, no nudes yet. Could you imagine if we had to had the access to Proctor's phone and we could sit here on stream and say, "Oh, I found Courtney." Ew, I don't want to see that. My pleasure. Thank you for joining. Hey, Donna. Hey, Solly. Oh, we do have another Holly. Holly, you tried to steal the crown, but no. Hey, two black guys in fifth grade. Morning, one of the Jessicas. That's Clumsy Jess. Good morning to Clumsy Jess. Hey, Scotch girl, how are you doing? This hearing will be over Zoom, yes. So there will be no interrupting, and we will have the camera angles they will give us. So if they show it on Zoom, because sometimes they don't do that. It shows what investigation they can do if they want to. They literally had the whole day of people just to get to DNA yesterday in the Walls trial. The Walls trial is a real trial. That's the big difference, and that's why I thought this is not going to be that exciting. Yes, there is some very exciting moments when you talk about all the evidence that idiot left, but it's just a trial. It's like any other trial. People had some expectation it would be the new Karen Reed trial, and oh my God, he's being set up, or can we get a Proctor angle? This is a standard case. They dotted the T, they crossed the I, everything was fine. They went through it like a cop should. The problem is the Karen Reed trial is not a normal case because the Karen Reed trial, they didn't do any of that stuff. Myles King, in why I believe that could be more interesting, is because there's the racial element. If Proctor is racist in his phone extractions, you can then go and say, did he close his eyes for potential exculpatory evidence because he wanted to pin it on the man? Proctor was the lead for the MSP in the Walls case, but he didn't really touch anything. And just because you have a shitty cop connected to the case doesn't make the case dirty. It has to have some way of showing some bias. And there isn't really, and we didn't see any in the pre-show. So Walls was just a standard, really good investigated trial. Because we have to give them, they did what they should in that case. They have all of it. Ooh, ooh. And then I have to share this and share this and share this and share audio and share that. And we are now in the holding line for the case. And M. Spire says, what did the baker sing on the way to bakery? Pie ho, it's off to work I go. They're getting better. They are getting better. It's now Zach isn't here to be a bad influence, M. Spire. Hey, Stringer Bill. Did I ew at you? No, I ewed at, isn't it Courtney Proctor? Isn't that her name? You said I will always be your number one, Holly. No backtracking now, sir. Well, you will be my number one, Holly, but you're not the only Holly. And again, I hear that you can have more than one at a time, because then it's a holly Christmas. Thank you, June Sindauskas, for 6 months. Good morning to you as well. I just wait till Rosemary makes Proctor read his racist text out loud on the stand. That's when it's going to be a good day to be a trial streamer. Hey, Scooby. And, well, afternoon to you in the UK, sorry. I looked at a few other law tubers. I'm not a law tuber. And they all love Tipton. I've been watching it with Mo, and I have to say I'm not being too impressed with him. Like I said, I had oh yeah, oh my. Let me be the meat in that one. And I saw there was someone else who had something. Why doesn't it light up? Oh, that's one. Malin has 1 month. Oh, I have this. Love you, Broken Baker. Love you too, Malin. In a consensual, non-creepy way. Oh, and Helene T. Schönen Nachmittag. Wie geht's dir heute? YouTube need to start their crap. It said this started 7 hours ago. Well, I haven't been here for 7 hours. That's just what I can tell you. And David says Baker is an honorary law tuber. Well, I can't. Someone called me out the other day and said I was an absolute disgrace to law tubers, but I'm not a law tuber, so I don't know. I'm a disgrace to my mom and dad, but they're dead. So, but with the Tipton thing, it's kind of like I Betterow replied to one of my text about the case, about how I said this was a third of a defense case with the she just died, and I had to chop her up, because it's not the chopping up part I have a problem with. Who hasn't had that problem? You go out, you find a lot lizard, you bring her home. You like the little bit of the and she forgets to breathe, and just because you don't want the police to get involved, and buying a burial place is so expensive, and you know that big forest you have right down the road, and you get to work. That's why you have power tools. So I could buy that part, but his she just died was kind of a lame excuse. At least say erotic asphyxiation or something, maybe. So I said, well, they're trying to polish a turd, but it's still a turd. And Betterow said, well, they're doing what they can do because that's what defense attorneys does. And yeah, that's their job, and a lot of people will have that. Well, why isn't Tipton pulling a rabbit out his ass? Because it's still a turd he's trying to polish. He can be the greatest defense attorney in the world, but you can't change facts, and that's the big problem. He never pled to chopping up, just disposing of Anna. Well, he pled to indecent handling of a corpse, I think, was the charge against him. He pled guilty to the part that had to do with the choppy chop. And again, how did she come into pieces? Because one thing is she just suddenly died. A lot of women have done that in my car. It happens. But the problem is, why did you saw her up after? And Marissa says, corrupt officially late, Baker meltdown incoming. No. I just looked over, saw they were 2 minutes late, but because I have been pre-warned that this is Canton by my lovely mods, I will take it easy and just sit here and say, well, those lazy Massachusetts assholes don't know a clock from their own ass, and they are just disrespecting everyone by not being on time. If I ever go to Massachusetts, I think I'm going to bring some Casio watches, and I'm going to give it to everyone. I'm not going to bring the baker's patty and make a spankathon. I'm going to come and give you all a watch and tell you this is the time when Mickey Mouse's arm is on this, and that means the clock is this. If we have an agreement that we are meeting at this time, you better be here at this time to show some respect for the people you're meeting with. And you're all going to say, well, we said 8 o'clock, but that really means 5 o'clock. I don't care. The clock's the clock. We have time zone. I don't care. Be there 5 minutes before. Everyone will be happy. Then you can do the hockey hug and all the things that people like to do. Don't hug me. Unbalanced equation for the creepy moments. Thank you so much. Been a second since I've seen you in chat. Exactly. 5 minutes early is 10 minutes too late. Everyone should always live by that mantra, because then everything would be better and I would be happy and I didn't have to yell at people. He keeps implying that a person could speak after dying, and it felt like ChatGPT gave him reasons for unexpected sudden death. Well, you know that when the gas escapes the body, maybe he thought that would come off as something. Judge Rayner is very militant with her court. She's great. I like a judge who runs her court like a tight ship. Yeah, when he finds out of that, and look, this is our third bacon. We have more bacons than we have Hollies. Not as much as Jessica's, because there's around 2,000 Jessicas, even though we're only 360 people watching. But still, and while you're at it, do the YouTube things. But taking your kids to buy cleaning supplies, if he finds out of that later in life, and that they kind of implied that the son was the one who might have done it, the 6-year-old, what the hell's going on? Is audio coming through? Do we have audio? Do you have audio? Do I need to set it up again? Yes. Gracias, mi amigas. Also, I'm not late. Your clock is wrong. No, because I'll run on internet time. It's just your lazy bum who couldn't get 5 minutes early. And I'm muted, so we don't have the same thing with the... It wasn't Melanie Little who forgot to turn off her mic. It was someone else who was watching Melanie Little that piped it in. Emspire, never date a baker. They are too needy. I am a needy little girl. I want to be Little Spoon.
Off the top of my head, I don't know what I can look at, but Brian's downstairs. Sorry about that.
No, you don't have to be sorry. Just get the judge in the seat and start working.
All right.
Can I tell how many people is in Zoom? Me and two others, I think.
For the record, before the court number 1, Commonwealth versus Myles King, 21 CR 320. Mr. King is present and represented by attorneys Rosemary Scapiccio and Nicole Scapiccio. On that case, the Commonwealth is represented by ADA Jennifer Hickman, William O'Driscoll, and Mike McGee. And also before the court, we have numbers 2 through 4. Number 2 is Commonwealth versus Bianca Ciancio, 22 CR 265. Ms. Ciancio is not present today?
She is present.
Oh, she is. Okay, thank you very much. Is present and represented by attorney Joseph Cataldo. Also before the court, number 3, Commonwealth versus Giovanni De Los Santos. Mr. De Los Santos is present and represented by attorney Joseph Krowski Jr. And finally, before the court, we have number 4, Commonwealth versus Sean Johnson, 22 CR 268. Mr. Johnson is present and represented by attorneys Rosemary Scapiccio and Nicole Scapiccio. On that matter, the Commonwealth is represented by, Ms. Blair is not coming today?
Ms. Blair has a medical appointment.
Lisa Beatty for ADA Blair and ADA Mike McGee and William O'Driscoll. We also have Jennifer Hickman. I did say her, sorry. If the parties could please identify themselves for the record.
Good morning, Your Honor. Lisa Beatty for the Commonwealth.
Morning, Your Honor. William O'Driscoll on behalf of the Commonwealth.
Michael McGee on behalf of the Commonwealth. Good morning. Thank you.
Jennifer Hickman on behalf of the Commonwealth. Good
All
morning.
right. Morning, Your Honor. Joseph Cataldo on behalf of Bianca Ciancio. Thank you. Attorney Krauss on behalf of Mr. De Los Santos. All right. Good morning.
Good morning, Your Honor. Sorry. Good morning, Your Honor. Rosemary Scapiccio on behalf of Mr. Johnson and Mr. King.
All right. Good morning.
Nicole Scapiccio on behalf of Mr. Johnson and Mr. King.
All right. Thank you.
Yes.
It looks like you folks have an agreement with respect to modifying the protective orders with regard to the materials extracted from Trooper Proctor's personal phone.
That's correct, Your Honor, and I drafted a proposed order for the court.
Have these been reviewed by counsel?
They have, Your Honor.
Agreeable? They're agreeable?
They are.
Okay.
With respect to my client, Judge, there's a paragraph in there that allows him to have access.
Your client being Mr. Johnson?
Johnson,
You're not
sorry.
talking about Mr. King?
Yeah.
I saw that, and so the materials will stay in the custody of the Sheriff's Department. He'll be able to access them.
Yeah, and I did speak to the Sheriff's Department this morning. My understanding is that there's an Officer Dolly, a Deputy Dolly, that would be in charge of the USB drive. And as long as we put something on the outside of the envelope that says do not print, then Mr. Johnson would not be allowed to print. And I've already explained to him he can't print anything, and I don't have any concerns that he would want to.
Okay.
I spoke with the Sheriff's Department as well, and we'll arrange to get the materials over there.
Great.
I made one mistake. I just realized, Your Honor, I've moved forward in time, and if you look at the docket number, for some reason I wrote 27. Do you mind making?
Yes, you did. Yes, you did. So Chianchio, De Los Santos, and Johnson, is that a 2022 case or 2020?
2022.
2022 82 CR. Okay. I will make that change.
Thank you.
Missed you, Iris, and thank you for 24 months. We have time to say it. And Karen Cole, thank you so much
And
for
for the
following us.
record, Your Honor, the
Life is
town of
complicated.
Canton and Post both have counsel here today. We had decided on the last date that this hearing would be, in a sense, extended until today on the Commonwealth's motion regarding providing materials to them. I have materials available to provide to them. It's my understanding that they are content with the protective order that you signed last week. And I just wanted to confirm that no counsel in the room have any objection at this point in time.
So we're all set on that motion.
Yes, no objection on behalf of Mr. De Los Santos.
No objection on behalf of Mr. King or Mr. Johnson.
And I don't need to sign anything more. Whatever I signed last week is good enough.
Is sufficient, is my understanding,
Okay.
for the town as well as for Post.
Okay?
And so we'll move forward with providing them the necessary materials.
All right. So I think the only other motions I have to hear are the motions relating to Myles King and the Commonwealth's efforts to subpoena records from Google and Meta.
The only other issue, Judge, with Mr. Johnson is we would be withdrawing the motion to preserve and produce the phone records of the Massachusetts State Troopers. When we were provided discovery, there were 2 USB drives in the same envelope with a letter indicating that they were Trooper Proctor's personal phone. We've since learned that one of those USB drives was actually the work phone. Commonwealth has agreed to ask the troopers, in this case, if anyone used the encrypted app, what's called WhatsApp, in this investigation. And depending on the result of that, we may file an additional motion, Judge. But we're withdrawing it as it exists on the motions today.
All right. I have so much paper. I don't think I brought that one out here, but I'll endorse it when I get off the bench. So this is,
I believe it's paper 136, motion to preserve and produce cell phones.
I have an extra copy if that would make it.
that's all right. I need to find the one we've got. So docket 136, motion to preserve, this is other officers' phones is withdrawn.
That's correct, Judge.
Was that filed in both cases?
No, just in Mr. Johnson's case.
Just in Mr. Johnson. Okay. Okay. Now,
With the court's permission, I'll step back, Your Honor.
sure.
Thank you.
Okay. With respect to the Meta and Google Rule 17s, Ms. Hickman.
Your Honor, the Commonwealth has filed 2 motions relative to Rule 17 regarding 2 accounts that has good faith basis to believe are in the names of the defendant, Myles King. The relevance in these 2 accounts, Your Honor, is in the moments after the victim.
Before you go on, is there anything else we need to do on Mr. Johnson or Ms. Chanchicchio or Mr. De Los Santos?
I don't believe so, Judge.
I think it's just the next date, Your Honor.
Yes, we'll
Be the only thing.
pick another date.
February 12th, the status regarding discovery is something we discussed that we could all do at 2 o'clock.
On both Mr. King and Mr. Johnson, for my purposes, Judge, if that was a good date for the court. And that would give us enough time to at least initially do our investigation as to the Proctor materials, Judge.
Your Honor, I also ask if we maybe mark it on the King case for scheduling for the filing of the supplemental. As the court is fully aware, we are in the midst of a motion to dismiss. The arguments were supposed to be on October 31st, and then the personal phone of Mr. Proctor became an issue. And we're hoping to get this back on track so we can determine whether or not that motion to dismiss is going to continue with the evidentiary hearing. And so I'd be asking that it also be marked for scheduling of the filing of the supplemental motion to dismiss.
So here's the issue on that. I heard evidence from one ADA. I started the hearing. I haven't, I don't know how much more you're going to ask me to hear in terms of evidence. but I can't really offload this to someone else.
Correct.
I'm happy to schedule now the completion of that hearing for a date when we generally don't schedule motions in the next session that I'm going to. It would be a Friday. I don't know how much more time you need on that. Obviously, I asked for additional filings, and I don't know that I've gotten the additional filings as it relates to prejudice.
The additional filing, Judge, would be based on the investigation for Proctor. That's what I intend on doing
All right.
to determine what, if anything, that adds to the motion to dismiss that's pending. So I don't know that I would be in a position by February 12th to file the motion, Judge, but I think I would be in a position by February 12th to tell the court where we are with the discovery. My plan is to send my investigator out on Monday, now that we have the amendment to the protective order, to start investigating this case. That would give him December, January, and at least the beginning of February to be able to track down what we need to track down. But I don't think that gives me enough time.
So I'm not going to do the hearing on the 12th. That will be someone else. Okay, whoever's sitting in this session will do the hearing on the 12th.
Sure.
But what I'm going to suggest is that I do schedule the hearing to complete the motion to dismiss on a date that is probably available here, and try to book a courtroom here, essentially to do that hearing here, where I'll come back to Norfolk to do it. One possibility, and it's subject to looking at our calendar, March 27, Friday, March 27.
Judge, I'm going to be out of the country that day.
April 3 is also a possibility. That's the last day of the session here, so it would probably be extremely light. And I'm going to be in the next session for 6 months, so I have the flexibility of blocking that off where I'm going to be.
I can move what I have on the 3rd, Judge.
Would the 3rd be okay?
It works, I think, for the team at the table. I'm been subpoenaed. I'm available on the 3rd. We would have to speak. I believe there are 5 or 6 other witnesses. Attorney McGee, ADA McGee could probably answer that.
I mean, I think the landscape's a little different.
Yes.
I think we can hold off on discussing, but I think
So-
April 3rd is a hearing date,
Hold off on discussing what?
witnesses and.
No, just availability, whether or not they can make
Availability. Are
it,
they available?
whether or not they're available on the 3rd.
So let me just say, maybe we can accomplish it all in one day. Maybe we can't accomplish it all in one day. What I'd like to do is schedule a time to see you by Zoom to understand the scope of the hearing in advance of whatever the hearing date is going to be. So if we do a hearing on April 3 in Norfolk, I would like to see you March 13 or March 20. Pick a Friday in March, a couple weeks before the hearing, to hear how the proceeding is going to go. And I want to make sure I have whatever showing of prejudice the defendants want to try to make before the hearing, because I think it'll frame the hearing. I think it'll bracket the hearing. So
Just preserve my objection. I don't think it's required, Judge, but I'm happy to do whatever the court orders me to do. I could do the 3rd,
what isn't required?
the showing of prejudice
Oh, I think
prior to the hearing. I understand your ruling, Judge.
I think because of the issue was late disclosure of evidence, and if that late disclosure of evidence creates a prejudice to the defendant, I think that is a showing. You may have to supplement it after the hearing. Maybe additional evidence of prejudice comes out during the course of the hearing, but I've asked for it. I think it's necessary, and your rights are preserved on that. So how would the 13th be at 2 p.m. on Zoom?
That works for the couple.
That's fine, Your Honor.
And this is only as to Mr. King,
This is
correct?
only as to Mr. King.
Only as to Mr. King, right. So 3/13
That'd be
on Zoom
at 2?
at 2, and probably what we'll do is we'll do the Zoom I'll be in Boston then, and I'll do it on my Boston Zoom number, so we'll let you know what that login information is. So that will be the scope of the hearing on 4/3, and then we'll block off all day on 4/3. And Margaret, if you can try to see if we can get a courtroom, maybe this one, if nothing is happening on the 3rd, or if we can hold that day open for this hearing. 4-3 hearing in Norfolk. And that is King only. All right. Great. Anything else?
No.
Okay, so that is Mr. Johnson, Mr. De Los Santos, and Ms. Chanchillo. Next hearing, this February 12 at 2 regarding the status of discovery. And we'll deal with the King, Google, and Meta motions now, but Mr. Johnson can be excused, Mr. De Los Santos can be excused, Ms. Chanchillo can be excused.
Thank you, Judge. Thank you.
Yeah, and these are just hearings. It's not even court dates.
Okay, now Ms. Hickman.
Going back to the Commonwealth's 2 motions on the Rule 17, looking for subscriber and account information for 2 accounts that it has a good faith basis are related to the defendant, Myles King. The facts in this case, Your Honor, is outlined in the Commonwealth's motion and affidavit, is that in some of Mr. Simmons' dying breaths, when asked by a Milton police officer as to who shot him, he identified that individual as Mizzy Cash. As been pointed out by the defense opposition in grand jury, there was testimony by an officer, Binda, that he knows the defendant as Mizzy Cash, and that was the link, and how on that night they led to Myles King is the identification by Marquise Simmons.
So let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand the tie-in between defendant allegedly and the name Mizzy Cash, and I understand the dying declaration. Assuming it's a dying declaration.
Correct.
We might get there, but
yes.
In any event, assuming it's a dying declaration, the question is 6 years of records, and the defense really argues over breadth, and it does seem to me that how that account was registered and used prior to the death, that is to say, what Mr. Simmons knew, who Mr. Simmons knew to be Mizzy Cash and who used the phrase Mizzy Cash is relevant, okay? Then there's a period of time when Mr. King is in custody, right? And then there is some information that you have shortly after Mr. King comes out of custody where he puts something out there as Mizzy Cash, you say, or uses that account.
He uses that the same YouTube account that there is a video that was put into the grand jury under the name Mizzy Cash, and an Instagram account that is used to communicate with Marquise Simmons in 2019 and 2020.
All right. So let me ask you why you are not asking for, whatever it is, 90 days prior to the homicide, and the most recent period, which is the information that you have knowledge of.
The reason I'd be looking for the 2019 or 2020 is the Instagram account, as is in the screenshots that were attached to the Commonwealth motion, is in Marquise Simmons' phone. It's only Mizzy Cash with this Instagram identification. It doesn't say Myles King.
Mm-hmm.
So the fact that there is a connection apparently between the victim and this defendant back in 2019 to 2020 that they are communicating, I think is relevant to this particular case.
Mm-hmm.
And who the Instagram account
shows knowledge by Mr. Simmons of who Mizzy Cash is.
Correct, Your Honor.
Yeah.
And that goes to his knowledge to be able to identify Mizzy Cash as the individual that shot him.
Okay.
So I would suggest the 19 to the 20 period of time where we have that communication between the two, that account information is relevant as to the phone number, subscriber information, and other information. And again, the Commonwealth is not asking for content. It is looking more for the subscriber information and billing information. So we're not looking for the contents of this particular account, either for the YouTube or the Instagram. And in fact, you can't do that with the Rule 17. It would be a search warrant. So the Commonwealth is not asking for that. It's who this account belongs to. And I'd say the same relevance goes to in and around the time of the homicide, that this is an account that is still in the name of this, believed to be in the name of Myles King, and that during that time that he is still being known as Mizzy Cash, and that this account is still in his name. And it's relevant, Your Honor, because Officer Binda, I expect, will testify that he is able to connect Mizzy Cash and Myles King as he sees this YouTube video that's put into the grand jury and says that is Myles King. And again, this is all connecting to the statement of Marquise Simmons identifying.
Okay.
I would suggest the 6-year period is relevant, is that this account has remained in the custody and control of this particular defendant. And in fact, within days of being released by the court, he's posting back on the YouTube channel, which again is the same YouTube channel Officer Binda says the YouTube video he saw, and it's still up. And he's still identifying that Instagram account, which is identified in Mr. Simmons' phone as being his Instagram account. And so I would suggest that that is the relevancy between this period of time.
I guess I don't understand the 6-month argument. I mean, I don't know if
You mean
anybody.
the 6-year?
6-year. I don't know whether people are posting to that account or anybody is posting that account while Mr. King is in custody. But Mr. King comes out of custody, and then apparently there are postings to that account. It seems to me that that's the relevant period post-homicide. Pre-homicide is what was known to Mr. Simmons. Post-homicide, it's essentially admissions by Mr. King that I'm Mizzy Cash.
Correct.
Right? And so those would be all the much more recent period.
But again, I would suggest that going back to the fact of the 19 to the 20 time frame.
Well, I understand the 19 to 20 time frame. Okay.
And so that is where the Commonwealth is, why it's doing the benchmarks, Your Honor, as a period. I get it that there's a 6-year period of time, but it's during that time that this account has been held in the name of Myles King. That's why I say it would be relevant.
Okay. Yes.
Judge, I think you get my argument, which is it's overbroad. In this case, 6 years of information, especially during the time period after the death of Mr. Simmons in this case. Commonwealth's stated purpose is to be able to connect the two together. Once the victim is dead, there's no need to connect them any longer to anything. So I don't really think it's relevant at that point. I agree that the subscriber information is relevant. I agree that the information relative to the 2025 incident, relative to subscriber information at that time is relevant, but that's not all the Commonwealth's looking for. They're looking for linked accounts. They're looking for IP addresses, and with IP addresses, they can the location of wherever my client was during that time period. So to the extent the court believes the subscriber information is necessary, certainly all of the other information that the Commonwealth is looking for that includes the information regarding all subscriber and billing information. I understand that. They want all associated email addresses. They want phone numbers, linked accounts, device information, account creation date, IP addresses, IP login history. And that's all well beyond just identifying my client as the holder of the account. And so to the extent that the Commonwealth is asking for any of that information, they haven't explained to you or in any of the pleadings how that becomes relevant at all, Judge, for a 6-year period.
All right. So I do have a question for the Commonwealth about that and the scope of the request. But let me ask you, Ms. Capiccio, about your Exhibit D. I think it's Exhibit D that you referenced. Let me just find it.
Yes. That would just be the grand jury minutes of Officer Bender, Judge, so you can see what he testified to in front of the grand jury. Is it not attached?
I don't think it is I'm sorry, it's the Commonwealth's motion, Exhibit D.
Okay.
Which relates to the July 25, 2025 information that Myles King posted a YouTube rap video titled First Day Out, including in the video a screenshot of an Instagram account, Mizzy Cash, back from the dead with a photograph of the defendant. Mm-hmm. That is information that comes from a YouTube. I was a little bit, maybe I hadn't read this as carefully as I needed to. That is information that comes from YouTube, and it's already information that the Commonwealth has and can use if it's admissible. I don't know why the more recent period is relevant as it relates to Myles King's use of the name Mizzy Cash.
It just shows the continuing use, Your Honor, that this Instagram has been in his custody and control for this period of time. And I think it is relevant to if at trial to introduce that he is still going by this name, Mizzy Cash, and he's still using the same accounts that he's been using for over, or at least using this name for the period of time that Mr. Simmons has been dead.
Okay. And what do you,
Have that in what they already have.
I'm sorry?
I would suggest they have that in what they already have, so they don't need to,
Well, it looks to me like what they have is a YouTube video
Yeah.
where there's reference to Mizzy Cash 617,
yeah.
a screenshot. And it does seem to me that getting records from Instagram relating to the registration of that name belonging to Mr. King, even after the homicide, would be relevant. You know, would be
The subscriber information,
the
we agreed.
subscriber information. No. I still have the question about the scope.
Yes.
And let me just find the description of exactly what the Commonwealth is looking for. Let me find it. Did you submit a proposed order?
I did, Your Honor.
I don't seem to have it
On which,
in the material that I have.
They were attached on both. I have copies right here,
So
Your Honor.
I have exhibit 165 and docket number 165, which has an affidavit and the memorandum, but I don't have the.
It's at the end, right before the exhibits, Your Honor, before my certificate of service. I have a copy here on both
Okay,
of them.
great. I'd love to see it.
So it should be right before the certificate of compliance. The one I'm passing up is Meta,
Okay. Thank you.
and the second one will be the Google, Your Honor.
Subscriber and billing information, including names, date of birth, associated email addresses, and phone numbers, linked accounts. I don't know what linked accounts means. Device information, account creation date and IP address, and IP login history for Instagram account, MizzyCash617. IP login history seems broader, and I don't really understand linked accounts.
Yeah, and the Commonwealth to be satisfied, the court would order the subscriber and billing information, including names, dates of birth, email addresses, because I believe he has to provide email addresses to have communications. Again, this would tie it back to Mr. King, as well as phone numbers, Your Honor.
Device information, account creation, and IP address, and IP login history would all come out.
I'd be satisfied if we just had that basic account information, Your Honor. But I would suggest that the emails associated with it are significant. Because there has to be communication with Instagram, is my understanding, with email accounts, and you have to provide an email account in order to have communications from Instagram as well as from YouTube.
Okay. Thank you very much. I'll take both matters under advisement. Okay, we have next dates. We're all set.
We have the
thank you.
12th of February, Judge, for this
Yes.
case as well at 2 o'clock.
Great. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
See you then.
I didn't have to take it off the screen. I was waiting to see if they had anything coming up like they did last week, but no, they don't, because that was a big old crap fest as always. I don't know why nothing ever really works in Massachusetts. The interesting part will be April 3rd. Because as I understood it, remember we had that Lally hearing back in, I want to say September, maybe September, October. We had the Lally hearing, and then we had a hearing scheduled till 2 weeks later where Proctor had to be there because he had dodged the summons. And then all of a sudden, all of this Proctor thing started coming out, and they never had that hearing. It was just another meeting where they went on Zoom and they said, well, we need to do something. And we never got to finish what happened at that hearing. So remember, that was when Lally was really, really pissy on the stand. Was that only on Zoom or was that televised? I can't remember, because that could actually be fun to go back and listen to. It might only be on Zoom, and then you'll have to get the clean Zoom feed of it, because I just remember him as very, very antagonistic to the defense. Let's see what you are asking. So the protective order will be amended. Both sides have apparently submitted something to change the protective order, but Rosemary Scapicchio withdrew a motion to have access to other cops' phones because, as I understood it, the Commonwealth had turned over 2 USB sticks that was supposed to have been Proctor's private communications, but one of them contained Proctor's work phone, or the other way around. It should have been his work phone, and one of them was the private. So Rosemary now has to go through all of that and find out what else does she need to write in a motion that she wants from the Commonwealth. This is the same crap we get into all the time. The Commonwealth won't tell them what they have. They won't turn over the evidence because, oh, we're going through it and we're having a team, and it's just push, 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 push. So apparently they turned over something, and it seemed like one of those USB sticks was a mistake. So she has to rewrite the motion for what she needs. April 3rd is your birthday, so perhaps it's going to be a good day. I would love a Proctor and Lally hearing, just to have those two sitting there and discussing, or having to spill the beans. Lally's updating her resume. I don't know if he has the brain power to do it. It was a bunch of can kicking. I'm again, there's breadcrumbs in it, I believe. The ADA still hasn't turned over what they're supposed to turn over. And I know we don't like Judge Corrupt, but if you listen to him, I don't think he is loving. Oh, thank you, Marissa. Marissa, can you check how long it is? Giggity. I don't think Corrupt loves the DA. That whiny woman, and yes, I am a massage therapist because I'm calling her out for being whiny. Go sit on a cactus. She's trying to do this all the time. Well, you can't really, and it's not our fault, and we didn't do nothing, and all of this crap they're constantly trying to pull. And I thought Krupp sounded like, I'm not going to give you everything. I'm not going to be on Bev and just toss everything you want at you. You have to work for this one. So that's the feeling I have listening today. We will most likely have a hearing on the 3rd of April. They will have a Zoom date before that where they will have to figure out what the hell is even going on, and what haven't the DA's office turned over. What do we need to do the hearing about? Because what is the defense claim to prejudice? And Rosemary was a little bit, we don't have to prove any prejudice. And I agree with her. But again, then the judge goes back to his, I want you to tell me everything. I found that a little weird. The Zoom meeting should be on March 13th at 2:00. And then we got into an argument about metadata, because the DA wants 6 years, as I understood it, 6 years of metadata on an Instagram account that was going by the name Michi Cash, that they, in a grand jury YouTube clip, connected to Myles King. Why do you need 6 years? And why do you need post-murder Well, it was to verify it was him. It wasn't to, well, we found posts that indicated he might have had beef with him, or he might have. No, it's just we want to run through 6 years of metadata, or data from Meta. I better say that, because metadata is something different. But imagine they don't have the resources to turn over the potentially exculpatory evidence in the Karen Read case. We just read that in a hearing last week, and now they're saying, give us 6 years of Instagram data so we can sit and rifle through it and pick out everything that sounds good to us. Overly broad fishing expedition, in my opinion. And it seems like the judge and defense agreed on that one as well. And the defense, of course, said, well, you had what you had to get him indicted in the grand jury. Why can't you go with that? But apparently they needed to confirm that this is Myles King who is running the Missy Cash, or go by Missy Cash as a nickname, because there is a form of dying declaration from the murder victim who said Missy did it, or Missy Cash did it, or something like that. This is what they need to have it so they can do the dying declaration part of it. It's WhatsApp messages that self-delete if the setting is set that way. Is it WhatsApp? No, that's Snapchat. If not, the messages stays on the phone. Well, it's kind of back to the cloud data as well. When we get Celebrite extractions, when I am a layman in court, for those of you who might be new here, thank you for choosing us today, flying Baker Airlines. Please notify the stewardesses if you want anything by hitting the like and subscribe button. When we get the Celebrite reports, we will get the text are there from the cloud. They will go back and it's linked to your login ID, your Apple ID, or your Google ID, whatever type of phone, subpar Apple crap or the superior Android. So they will just read that, and they can read the cloud. That's what they did on Proctor's phone if it's not deleted from the cloud. Snapchat, they haven't broken yet. WhatsApp, they have broken most of it, because contrary to what Hank Brennan tried to teach you in the Karen Read case, Signal is not the only encrypted service out there. Everything, your chat right here is most likely also encrypted because it's connected to my account and blah, 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 all of that crap. So it has to be encrypted in some way so no one can backdoor into your systems. But everything is encrypted. But your Facebook messengers, your text messages, we can see them in clear text. Nothing is hidden. Your Google searches, your whatever Safari searches, we will see what you have searched. So think about searching a lot of man-on-man action, as someone did in her phone. But we will see that. Then you have WhatsApp. WhatsApp is a little differently encrypted, so they haven't broken it 100%. So you will get some of it. Sometimes you will get the full text. Other times you will have like partial snippets of the text. Snapchat is hard for them. That's why a lot of in Denmark we call them the brown messengers, or the brown carriers. The brown carriers, those are the one who write out and deliver your party powder and stuff like that. And they will use Snapchat to contact, because it'll delete the message, and they haven't quite broken their encryption either. So you'll get parts of it in the cloud, but with WhatsApp it'll probably be like 80% of the stuff that they can get. Snapchat is way lower, and Signal, I haven't been in any trial yet where Signal has ever been mentioned, so I don't know how close they are to breaking their encryption. They will at some point. The companies are always trying to keep ahead, and the police is always trying to catch up, because hey, we can't live in a civilized society if the state can monitor everything you're doing. Nosy Rosie. Oh my. You have to contact Marissa on that one. Thanks, Baker. So do you believe that there are WhatsApp messages on the phone? Is that what you got out of it? Q&A on Proctor's phone will determine if want other MSP phone data. Oh, you're asking if I believe that Rosemary is going back looking at Proctor's work phone to see if they had used, yeah, because she said, did they use the WhatsApp in this case? Could be that to sneak around the system, they were using WhatsApp. Again, WhatsApp is pretty much hacked by Celebrite, but it's not 100%. So it's the most secure way they could have communicated back then. I think she needs to go back and look if there's any breadcrumbs saying, okay, he's replying to Higgins here and says, yeah, you're right. That MFing N-word should just go jump off the planet. Okay, we might need to see Higgins' phone because we need the other part of that conversation. So that's most likely what she's going to do. But at the same time, the Commonwealth is going back and going through all of this, and then will turn over because they still haven't turned over what the judge told them because, oh, we don't have the time. It takes too long. There's too many files out there. And that will, of course, give Rosemary more work because they're going to dump it on her at some point. They're going to make one of these major data dumps on her and put her on the back foot again. And then Krupp will have to come in and they will have to say, well, we need a new date, Judge, because we got these 2,000 files yesterday and we can't go through them all. And the Commonwealth will say, well, we turned over materials as we're supposed to. We didn't plan it. It's not like when Cosgrove threw a big motion just before Thanksgiving, so he knew it would hamper Aiden's defense. Absolutely nothing to do with that. It's just the day it's done. It'll probably be a Friday around 3 o'clock or something like that, or 2 days before they have trial. So Rosemary is constantly playing catch up because she will have to go back through all of this and see, okay, I need Higgins' phone. I need Lally's phone. I need Trooper Johnson's phone. I need these things because there's breadcrumbs in what I have that indicates that I need to see what they have. And when she finds out what she needs, they'll just dump more on her. And then maybe some of it will be covered that she's looking for will be covered in the data dump they give her. So she will have to constantly be on the back foot. It's a shitty way to do it, but that's how the Commonwealth will do it. And it's how most DA's officers will do it if they're trying to hide something in the pile. It's doing all of these, what should we call them? Distraction dumps. So you will constantly keep the defense working so they're not ready for court. Maybe because Corrupt is a little bit of an angry guy, to make them look unprepared when they come to trial. But that's my opinion. Hey, Panella. This morning was the first morning it didn't get your cream bun peen pics in my inbox. You're slipping. You have to take it up with Marissa. Marissa, do better. We have expectations. We have to set up a fundraiser for a boudoir photo shoot for Baker. You don't want to see all of this man. Floppy, sloppy man. Trust me. Did I know it needs... well, Marissa will get mad at me. Make some bacon muffins. I did make some ham muffins. You can go back and watch. That was last Friday, prior Friday. Go back and see that. They're good. And thank you for Brandon for suggesting that I should make some savory goods because I normally don't do that. I wanted to show. This was such a weird drop that was yesterday. This is Commonwealth of Massachusetts v. Myles King and Commonwealth v. Bianca di Giovanni de los Santos and Sean Johnson. And then they just crossed out the motion to provide law enforcement bodies information derived from a former state and just called it court order. And what was ordered was counsel for the town of Canton and for the Peace Officer Standards and Training Commission may receive one copy of the files from Michael Proctor's cell phones determined to be discoverable under Rule 14. The discoverable material shall not be otherwise copied. Disclose of the discoverable material shall be limited to counsel, post commissioners, associated attorneys, paralegals, administrative assistants, investigators, and expert assisting counsel of record in the above captioned case. Says, counsel shall not show or provide discoverable materials produced pursuant to the order to anyone other than those persons described above, except that counsel may provide, if required, the materials to the subject of or counsel for the subject of any internal affairs or post proceedings, subject to the written acknowledgement of this protective order. The discoverable material shall not be disseminated outside the statutory authorized proceedings, which shall include any appeal or statutorily authorized review of those proceedings, absent further order of this court. The Commonwealth shall be permitted to separately redact a sexual assault victim's name. So we know that's in there. That was another thing we had heard rumors about. And then you have scribbled in as number 6, the court will conduct a hearing on December 10th at 9 a.m. to consider whether the protective order related to the discoverable material shall be modified. And that's then been modified because both sides agreed to it. But it was just such a weird one. First of all, that they just reused a motion and scribbled it out, and then they handwritten something in there. I just found it a little unprofessional, but that's how it is. Oh, I have to go and see if anyone that I missed any super chats. Good morning, everyone. No, had that one. Never dated Baker. Life is what you bake of it, says Karen Cole for 4 months. And Iris, lovely Iris, who sadly has been missing because she is working too hard and going to school, has been a member for 24 months and say 2 years and still in Massachusetts. Go, Rosemary. Sadly, it's been way longer than 2 years. So that's what it is. Someone explained to me why everyone says peace officer. I have no idea. When I read it, I thought it was a spelling mistake. So, trial channel has July 21st, 2025. Alan Ballard takes the stand for evidentiary hearing. Where is the discovery? Yes, Marissa have found that for me. So, it's about an hour and a half of that hearing. But shut up. The part where Adam Lally is talking is gonna be about an hour. If you have nowhere else to be, we can take a look at it. I haven't really been streaming daytime lately, so we could go watch it at. I hope Trial Channel is okay with it. I think they are. I haven't heard anything bad about them doing the stupid stuff that other people do. Did you see that Emily C got a copyright strike from Cellbrite? Yeah, I talked about it on the stream, but it was the wrong. It wasn't a copyright strike anyway. So the wonderful tech guru, the data expert, Adam, no, what's his name? Whiffen, Brian Whiffen, Ian Whiffen, knows everything about Cellbrite, but knows nothing about copyright. Baker kept sending peen pics to his customers instead of photos of his fresh baguettes. He finally got banned from the group chat when someone replied, "Dude, nobody ordered that much gluten." Oh my. Oh my. Hour and a half of, well, I don't know. Well, we can go watch it just to get the feel. We're not going to do anything else. So we're going to go watch that time. Daytime Baker Daddy. I hate people calling me daddy who are not blood relatives of mine. Well, they can't be blood relatives because I didn't have sex. So, but who I have paid child support for. Yuck. Yeah, I know they're pretty cool with sharing because they also reach out to me for Zoom things as well. So I think we are absolutely golden. Oh, look, another Jessica. Welcome, Baker. Baker. Welcome, Bacon Jess. And I am G. And just to pay it forward, please go and subscribe to the trial channel. Now we are stealing their stream. But yes, let's pull this up and hear how horrible it was. Maybe we can get subtitles on it. And we got... you can still be a dad if you're adopted. I am a dad, and I'm a virgin, so you can be without having blood relatives. It's just science. And Medita Finn, so good to see you back. We missed our Finnish representation, and now we just need to get our Dutch representation back. I don't know why we lost all of our Dutch viewers, but Helen from Holland and Russian bot, we miss you. Watch the Devon's post-commission hearing on the trial channel. Thanks, trial channel. That got me so angry when I watched it that I don't think I can stream it, because him blaming Sandra Merchmore for being a sexual deviant who wanted him, this fat, obnoxious old piece of shit. This poor woman was groomed to bang all of you nasty ass cops, and he was blaming her for their sexual encounters. Go sit on a cactus. Double time. I'm gonna get this started, and then I'm gonna go blow my nose. I'll be rightio backio. I think we have it when Adam Lally takes the stand. Yes.
You solemnly swear to the evidence you give the court in the case now hearing true, the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God. Yes, I do. Thank you.
Got really, really angry.
Good morning, Mr. Lally. In a loud, clear voice, could you please state your name, spelling your first and last name for the record?
Sure. Adam Lally, A-D-A-M, last name L-A-L-L-Y.
And what do you do for a living, Mr. Lally?
Assistant District Attorney with the Norfolk County District Attorney's Office.
And how long have you worked for the Norfolk County District Attorney's Office?
Since 2005.
20 years?
Yes.
there's no policy that you're aware of in the DA's office that,
What happened?
that details how to gather information. Is that what you're saying?
Not that specific to that, no, not that I
Okay.
know of.
So how do you gather information, and how did you gather information in the King Gardner case that was required under Rule 14? What did you do?
Objection, just specify what is, it's too.
I don't know what happened, but all of a sudden, because I was switching over to see if I missed something while I was away, and everything just stopped, and I fell off screen. And I'm back. I'm back. I hope I'm back.
Beg.
Overruled. Question is, what did you do?
So what I do,
And I think we can take it in chronological order. We'll start at the beginning and then we'll have follow-up questions.
sure. So what I do is what I do in every case, depending on how many different departments are involved. In this case, there was a local department and state police involvement. So I would make appropriate requests for any and all information that they had, any information that, you know, specifically I could outline or delineate as far as what I felt was relevant. And
Stop right there. How would you make those requests?
typically what I would do is write out a formal discovery request, submit the form to any involved departments, and communicate either via phone or email to whoever the relevant party was that I was requesting discovery from.
When you say discovery forms, what do you put on? What did you put on the form in this case for Gardner and King?
Initially, it would be for any and all police reports, any and all photographs, any and all information as to who was present, lab reports, if they had access to fire department, run reports, personnel that responded to the scene, you know, so that I would have an idea as to whether or not there was testing that was going to be conducted or items had been recovered. Search warrants, including applications, affidavits, copy of the warrants, any returns.
And let me stop you there. Do you have a memory in this case of asking for all the information that you just told us you normally ask? Did you do that in the Brianna Gardner and Myles King case? Did you ask for all of that information?
Yes, and just for clarity purposes, when I'm initially doing this, it's not the Myles King and Brianna Gardner case.
It's just an investigation.
Correct.
Okay.
Well, and more to that point, Ms. Gardner didn't become a focus of the investigation until later on.
Okay. So while you were investigating without a defendant being a suspect, at least not initially, you asked which departments for this information?
The State Police, Norfolk County Detective Unit, as well as the Milton Police.
I can't hear you. What was the last one?
Milton Police.
Milton Police. Okay. So you asked Milton Police, you asked the State Police. Who in Milton Police did you ask, and who in the State Police did you ask to send information?
The Milton Police would have been, at that time, Lieutenant Michael Collins. The State Police would have been Trooper Michael Proctor, as he was a case officer, and Lieutenant Brian Tully.
And so you have emails going to all three of them asking for all of the information that you just listed, which would be normal information that you'd ask in any case after a homicide. Is that right?
Yes.
And did let's just take Mr. Proctor, Trooper Proctor, did he respond to you?
Yes.
And what did he provide you?
At varying...
No, to the extent he recalls, he can testify.
You must have written it just before he turned the camera.
So at varying times, there were different productions of material, whether it was what was available at that time. So initially it would have been just whatever reports were available at that time. Later on would have been photographs, video.
So how often would you say you emailed or communicated with the State Police, and specifically Trooper Proctor or Trooper Tully, regarding discovery in this case?
I cannot tell you how many times via email, but I mean, it was a constant conversation, particularly throughout the grand jury process as far as discovery was concerned.
Okay. So when you say a constant process, was there a time period where you asked for stuff and you didn't get it, so you were re-asking for it, or is it always new information that you're getting from the State Police?
I think it would vary. I think there were certainly items that I probably had to ask for more than once, but there were definitely items that I had asked for and was provided promptly, and then moved on from there to either additional information or that avenue was complete.
So do you keep records of, I asked for search warrants. I asked for crime lab stuff. I asked for witness statements. Do you keep records when you receive that information to be able to check off to say, I got these things, they're no longer outstanding, and the rest of this is?
I mean, I keep records in the sense of a list of items I'm looking for, and obviously when I receive something, then yeah, that would get checked off the list as far as I'm not looking for that anymore because I have it.
Okay. So if you got a set of grand jury minutes from a witness that you know testified in front of the grand jury, you'd check that off your list?
Well, as far as yes, I mean, I was at the grand jury, so I know who testified at the grand jury, but as far as receiving the minutes, yes, I'm aware of the dates, and when I receive the minutes, then that would check that off the list.
I missed, I think, a question and answer, one question earlier. I think the question was, do you keep records of what you requested? What was your answer to that question?
So records, as far as what was requested, I would always have, at least in some form, some sort of running list of items I was looking for. And then if I received an item, then that would be something that would be off the list. Now, that list would be obviously added to as information develops, and there might be additional items that I'm looking for.
And presumably because it's on the list, you've made the request?
Yes.
Okay.
And so you'd have whatever's on the list, you'd have emails requesting that information. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. And then
And he can't show any evidence of it because, oh yeah, I deleted it after. Because hey, why keep a body of work? Why keep a list of what I've done in this case? It's not important. This man is being paid by you taxpayers of Massachusetts. Just every time you go to the bank and pay your taxes, remember this guy is being paid by you. A man who is so disinterested in doing his job, a man who he couldn't be more scornful towards the defense in this case. He is absolutely the worst person in the world, in my opinion. Well, not the worst, but he is showing everything that people dislikes about DAs and the state misusing their power.
and if they emailed back, you'd have checks off of your list that you got whatever it was, maybe you were asking for 10 things and you got 5. You'd check those 5 things off your list. Is that right?
Yes.
Is there any other mechanism you used to document what you got from, just right now we're talking about the state police, Trooper Tully and Trooper Proctor?
I'm sorry, any other mechanism of doing what again?
Keeping track of what they're producing for you. Is it all just emails and check marks on a list? Or is there some other way that you keep track as well?
No, I mean, it would be something that I would have a list of items that are outstanding that would be, followed up on if they hadn't been received at that point, and then I would follow up with whoever the appropriate person was to get copies of those.
And these lists remain in the file? Your lists with the check marks remain in the file?
To the best of my knowledge, yes.
Okay. And have you reviewed any of them before you testified here today?
No,
Okay. Is there a reason you didn't review the file before you testified here today?
I don't have the file.
Why don't you have
You
the
work
file?
for the DA's office, right?
I do.
And it's in the DA's office, right?
Yes.
And you knew you were going to be asked questions about this case, right?
Yes.
And you didn't do anything to educate yourself about what you did initially on the case?
Objection. This is her witness.
Well,
Counsel's witness.
I'm not sure I agree with that as an objection, but I'm going to sustain the objection as to the relevance. He did not review the file. Next
So
question.
what did you review in preparation for your testimony here today?
I reviewed portions of the file. I reviewed some of the items that have been produced by ADA Hickman. I reviewed search warrants. I reviewed police reports. I reviewed, you were asking specifically as far as checklists or notations. I didn't review those, but I did review, I have portions of the file. I have access to the file, and I did review portions of the file.
Okay. So you did review portions of the file, is what you're
Yes.
saying now?
Oh, yes.
You just didn't review your checklist?
No.
Okay. Now, in terms of the Milton Police Department, do you also have emails going back and forth to the Milton Police Department asking for certain documents?
Yes.
I am wealthy.
And who in the police, would that be Lieutenant Collins?
Yes.
Anyone else in the Milton Police Department were you looking for documents from?
On this case, I don't believe so, no.
And did you keep the same type of list that you kept for the state police outstanding things that you were looking for the Milton Police Department?
Yes.
And what did you get back from the Milton Police Department? Do you remember?
Items of similar nature that they had access to, as far as police reports, photographs. I don't believe Milton did any of the search warrants in this case, but other items of discovery, video that they recovered, that there's a litany of different items.
A litany of different items? Did you
Yes.
say? Okay. And those would all be memorialized by email? Is that how you did it?
Yes, that's, I think, what Mr. McGee attached as Exhibit 1. It's about 137 pages.
Of emails back and forth between the Milton Police Department and you?
Correct.
And so at what point do you know that you have all of, so other than, strike that. Milton Police, State Police, any other person or entity that you sought information for in this case?
Certainly.
I'm sorry?
Yes.
Who's that?
Be the Office of the Chief Medical Examiner, be the State Police Crime Lab. There were some items that were outsourced to Bodie Technology Lab in Lorton, Virginia, where they did some additional forensic testing pursuant to DNA. They have different methods that our lab does not.
What happened?
Milton Fire Department, I believe Fallon paramedics were
Why can't I big screen this now? YouTube, what the hell's going on with you today?
involved in the transport.
What's happening? I'll just try and refresh it and see if... Why can't I go full screen? What? Can I don't know. That's probably why the stream went bonkers before, because this is weird.
And so at what point do you know that you have all of, so other than, strike that. Milton Police, State Police, any other person or entity that you sought information for in this case?
Certainly.
I'm sorry?
Yes.
Who's that?
Something's happening.
Be the Office of the Chief Medical Examiner, be the State Police Crime Lab. There were some items that were outsourced to Bodie Technology Lab in Lorton, Virginia, where they did some additional forensic testing pursuant to...
No, YouTube's broken. Again, I can't go full screen. Well, we're gonna run this ship until the water gets too high and we're gonna sink. If we lose connection, love you all, but yeah.
DNA, they have different methods that our lab does not. Milton Fire Department, I believe Fallon paramedics were involved in the transport of the victim, Mr. Simmons. That's all I can think of at this point.
Okay. And would you communicate with those agencies the same way you communicated with the State Police and the Milton Police via email?
For the most part, could have been phone call on some of those
All right, so let's
issues.
stop there. If there was a phone call, how did you memorialize what you requested and what they said in a phone call?
Notes.
You have individual notes?
Yes,
And where would those notes be right now?
in the file.
Okay. So do you keep like a running page of all the notes that you've taken in the case with communications that you had with all of the other entities and officers in State Police in this case?
Not all in one location, but it would be sort of divided up by different entities as far as what I was requesting from that specific entity and what I was looking for, what I was still waiting for, what was still outstanding, things of that nature.
Okay. So what happens when you ask for something, let's just say from the State Police, and they don't give it to you? What's the next thing you do?
The next thing I do would be to ask for it again.
Okay. How many times do you ask for it before you have a meeting with the State Police to look at their file?
Objection. The biggest objection I have here is that we're not speaking about any individual document, any individual date, vague questions about
Yeah, this is general practice, generally, Mr. Lally's practice. I think part of the issue here is, we don't have very specific items that are being referred to.
Right.
But, I think, I'm going to overrule the objection and give, Attorney Scapiccio a little bit of leeway here in terms of general practice.
So in general, how many times do you email for the same document before you go to the state police and start to have a sit down with them?
I think it varies. I think it would be depending on a lot of different factors as far as what the item is, what the explanation is for why I don't have it yet, whether it's not available or whether it's something that they're currently working on, or if it's something that I know has been completed, and I've asked for it multiple times and I still don't have it. I'm not saying that even happened in this case, but if in a general practice, if that were something that were going on, then yes, I would want to sit down with somebody and figure out exactly what's going on.
Okay. So let me ask specific questions about this case. When you reached out, let's start with Trooper Proctor, in this case looking for information, and there were emails back and forth. Were there any occasions where you did not get the documents or the information that you were seeking from Trooper Proctor?
I don't recall anything specific other than if it was a situation where I'm looking for a report about something, and that report hasn't been completed yet, or that item hasn't been obtained yet for whatever reason. But I don't recall in this case ever asking for something and just not getting it.
Do you remember asking Trooper Proctor for the search warrants that he did in this case?
Yes.
And the affidavits accompanying the search warrants?
Yes.
And did he provide them to you?
What I received was a partial affidavit for search warrant.
Did he provide them to you, yes or no?
Some.
How many search warrants do you recall there being in the King Gardner case?
In 2021 or beyond?
Let's start with 2021. How many search warrants? You guys pulled the search warrants?
6.
6 search warrants. Did he, when
This is the part where you just start shaking your head and say, what the hell is going on in Massachusetts? You are the power. You are the man who is going to take this to trial, and you let some lieutenant, trooper, whatever his job title was at the time, you let him decide what he's going to turn over to you. You're the big man. You should go in there and slap your cock on his table and say, you owe me 6 search warrants. Give it to me right now. And when he says, you are out of the office. Go back being a patrol officer. Instead, this little guy went in there and said, well, I would put it on the table, but it's cold outside today. It's in the middle of the summer. Well, it's still 6 inches. This is everything that's wrong in Massachusetts. Is the DA's office, they don't give a fuck. They don't give a fuck. They don't, if they don't want to treat the cases right, they just don't do it. We see in the Walls case, they can make a good case. They can build a case. They can keep all the records. But apparently Lally is just being put in the dunce cap by all the troopers. I bet you he's one of those whiny guys that wish he could have been a cop. And then he's so in awe of them because, oh man, they got guns, that he forgets that he's actually the guy who can push them around. Yeah, Rosemary has a very, very big rooster. What? What's wrong? What did you do now? Is this from October? I don't know. When is this? Is 4 months ago. 4 months ago. Crap is an ass. I actually go back and listen to today. I don't feel he was that bad today. He was pushing the DA's office. Lally is a typical yes man, does whatever he's told to do. Yeah, and he doesn't care that other people are just saying, "Get out of here." He'll just sit there and say, "Oh, can I have some more?" The title says 10/12. Yeah, because it's the 10th of December. No, it's December 10th. Get better.
When you asked, and he signed all 6 search warrants, is that fair to say?
That's my understanding, yes.
Okay. And so when did you ask Trooper Proctor for the search warrant?
In July or August of 2021 when they were filed for.
Okay. And when did you get all 6 search warrants from Trooper Proctor?
I didn't get all 6 search warrants from Trooper Proctor.
You did not?
I did not.
Okay. So did you get 1 search warrant from him?
From him specifically, I received a portion of the affidavit for search warrant 306 and the entire affidavit for search warrant 348.
Okay. So you got portions of 2 search warrants, and you knew there were 6 search warrants. Is that
I'm waiting for my daughter and the idiot who lives with her to go out and have a look at it.
right?
Yes.
Did you make notes somewhere in your file? Geez, I asked Trooper Proctor for these 6 search warrants. He hasn't given them to me yet?
I believe, yes.
Okay, those notes are in your file.
I believe so, yes.
Okay. And then when you didn't get search warrants from Trooper Proctor, did you meet with him?
I love that he's just fine with, so I got parts of it. So it was half shaft?
Yes, I mean, specific to that, I don't recall any specific meeting related to search warrants, but we did meet several times in relation to this investigation in this case.
But you understand that search warrants are Rule 14 automatic discovery, right? And you knew there were 6 search warrants, right?
I did.
And so when do you realize that you don't have all 6 search warrants? How long into the process? Do you know right away you don't have them all? Or do you not know for a long time you don't have them all?
I don't think I realized at that time that I didn't have them all.
So how, then I guess I'm confused about how your system works. You said you had a system where if you asked for something and you didn't get it, you would then follow up with the police officer asking again and again. Did you do that with Trooper Proctor in this case with the 6 search warrants?
Yes, I believe so.
How many times did you email Trooper Proctor asking for the 6 search warrants?
I don't know.
More than 10?
I don't believe so, no.
Okay. How far in between each email? Did you wait a month and email him again? Did you wait a week? Did you wait a day? How long in between your requests to Trooper Proctor to produce the 6 search warrants in this case?
I don't know.
You don't?
No.
Did you review your emails before you came here today?
Some of them, yes.
Did you see any emails to and from Trooper Proctor regarding the search warrants?
Yes.
How many did you see?
I don't recall.
More than 5?
No, Scooter. We were watching today's hearing, and when that ended after about an hour, I thought, nah, I don't stream that much daytime stuff anymore because there's no trials going on that I'm covering. So we could rewatch Proctor's absolute smashmortion of a hearing from earlier, and that's what we're doing now. So nothing new. This is just and sorry for the setup, but maybe that's why Spaces didn't work last night, because I don't know. But apparently YouTube is fixing things in the back end.
Yes.
Hey, Celestial.
More than 10?
I don't know.
What are the dates of the first time you asked Trooper Proctor for the search warrant?
Specific date, I don't know.
How long before the next time you asked him for 6 search warrants?
Specifically, I don't know.
Was it months or weeks?
Weeks.
Weeks late. Okay,
Yes.
so that's 2 times you're asked him. What about the third time? How much time went by?
I don't know.
Months or weeks?
I don't know.
What about the fourth time?
Again, I don't know how many times, and I don't know specific dates.
So I guess my question is, how does your system work if you're not getting the discovery that you're asking a police officer for, and you're asked for it, let's just say 5 times? What do? Do you go to the office and you sit down and say, give me these search warrants, I have to turn them over?
Yes.
You did.
Yes.
Did you do that in this case?
Yes.
You go to Trooper Proctor and say, give me the search warrants because I have to turn them over.
Yes.
When did you do that?
Sometime prior to the defendant's arraignment in December of 21.
November of 21, did you say?
December of 21.
December of 21. So when you get to his office, do you go there or do you tell him to come to your office? I don't know how that works.
Either way, I don't
Remember
remember.
how you met about the search warrants the first time?
The,
In other words, did he come to you or you go to him?
I don't know.
This is asking your kids who stole the last Yankee bar. I remember we had Yankee bars. That's not my question. Did you take it from the cupboard? I remember when you bought the Yankee bars, I specifically remember 2 weeks ago, you gave me 1 Yankee bar, but there was more left in the cupboard. Did you take the last one? It's hard to tell you exactly is there ever a last Yankee bar? I know there's more at the store. Did you eat the last one in the cupboard? What is a cupboard? Have we defined that yet? You didn't do your job, you lousy cunt. Why haven't this guy been fired? Again, put 1 in chat if you're a taxpayer in Massachusetts and happy. Put 2 in chat if you're a taxpayer in Massachusetts. And before the Karen Reed case, you thought, well, they're fixing the roads and doing the schools, but you found out what an insane waste of money your system is running, because people like him, people like Morrissey, people like Trooper Proctor, all of these assholes who are just not doing their job. And they are getting all these overtime paying schemes. I know that they fixed the overtime scheme a couple of years ago. I would love to see how many officers still write a golden ticket on the overtime. What's this trial about? It's not a trial, it's a hearing with Lally in the Myles King case to find out what evidence the Commonwealth didn't turn over to the defense.
Okay, so you have a sit down.
Yes.
And you ask him for the 6 search warrants, and what does he say?
You will get them to me.
He will get them to you.
Yes.
Okay. If you tell him I have an obligation to turn this over because it's Rule 14 discovery, I need it right away.
Or people who does that, they should be treated very harshly, because then you're going through it and you're thinking, oh, I have ice cream, I don't need to get it, and it's hot out and I really, really want some ice cream after I've done streaming. And then you come in there and you just take up that empty container. At that point, someone should be signed up for the Foreign Legion.
Away, I've asked for it 5 times. What's the deal?
Those specific words, no, but the
Yeah,
gist,
good
yes.
order.
Well, tell me what you said specifically.
I don't know.
Well, give me a best estimate of what you said to Trooper Proctor after you asked 5 times
Objection.
search warrants that he didn't turn over.
Sustained.
So, did you keep any notes of your conversations with Trooper Proctor when you were asking for these 6 search warrants that he didn't give you?
No.
Why not?
It was something that I knew that was outstanding. It was something that I had asked for in written form numerous times. I didn't feel the need to write a note that I asked for it again.
So that's the first sit down. Did you send emails after the first sit down saying, hey, you promised me you're going to send these 6 search warrants, I still don't have them?
Objection, assuming facts. Overruled.
I'm sorry, could you repeat the
Did you
question?
send another email to Trooper Proctor after you had the sit down at sometime in December of 2021 saying, hey, you still didn't send those 6 search warrants, can you send them over?
Caddy, no, and that's actually what we talked about today in the hearing today. Will we have to do this again and finish this at April 3rd will be the date. Empire is saying, oh, we're now calling it your whole hand is stuck in the cookie jar. Lol. I think Trooper Proctor, no, ADA Lally has his hand stuck somewhere else. The place that's normally where you sit. But thank you, Inspire. Exactly. Notes are discoverable. You can't just throw them away. Did he think that ignorance of doing nothing would be okay? Yeah, because it is. It is okay. He's not going to get in trouble. He's not going to get fired. Yeah, Rosemary Scapiccio might yell a bit in court about it, but who cares? He's been there for 20 effing 5 years. This guy has never earned a paycheck. And I think it's by design. That's how Michael Morrissey wants his DA office run. If we want to get the girl, we're going to pin it on the girl. The rest, just show up.
Yes.
How far after Mr. King's arraignment in December of 2021 did you send that email to Trooper Proctor?
I don't know.
Was it a year?
He did work some warehouse jobs.
I don't think so, no.
What do you think? What's your best estimate of when you sent that email after you sat down with Trooper Proctor?
I would say probably a few months later.
All right, a few months.
Yes.
So February, March of 2022, is that what you think it?
I don't recall specifically.
So when you're in this room with Trooper Proctor asking about the 6 search warrants, do you ask him for his file? Like, give me your whole file so I can go through it and figure out what's in it?
No.
Why not? You're there. There's outstanding discovery. You have the obligation, not the police officer. Why don't you ask?
I entrusted that whatever discovery I was requesting, I would get at some point in a timely fashion and then turn it over.
But you didn't get it. You asked for it 5 times. You didn't get it. You had to go see him. You have him right there now, and you still don't say, give me your file? Let me go through it?
No, I did not.
And when he says you'll get the search warrants, I'll send them to you. Did he have them? Did he have copies of the search warrants? He just wasn't giving them to you?
That I don't know. You'd have to ask him.
Isn't it your job to know?
You don't get the search warrants in any event after that sit down, and you send another email. What's Trooper Proctor's response to that email?
Again, I don't know that I sent another email, but I know that there were subsequent conversations about it. Whether it was what format it was in, I don't know.
Okay, and at this point, you have to be getting a little upset with Trooper Proctor that you're asking for information he's not giving you, right?
Objection. Overruled.
I'm sorry, your question again?
You have to be getting a little upset at Trooper Proctor that you're asking him for information that he's not giving you, right?
I wouldn't say upset, frustrated probably.
I'm sorry?
Frustrated probably.
Oh. Judge, can we approach sidebar just briefly? I know.
Sure.
Event, ADA Lally.
That was very short sidebar.
In any event, ADA Lally, a couple of months goes by, you still don't have the 6 search warrants. What do you do?
I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, I specific to the 6 search warrants, I don't recall as far as there was a topic that was discussed repeatedly. Obviously, I never received them because I never provided them to you or to Ms. Costa.
Okay. So I guess what I'm saying is you knew they existed and you knew that, let me just say this, you knew that all 6 search warrants existed. Is that right?
Yes, we went through all six of the search warrants on the last day of the grand jury presentation on November 19th, 2021. That's in the grand jury minutes as far as going through each of the materials, each of the search warrants, that they were search warrants, how that material was obtained, and the material that was returned in response to 3 of the search warrants was marked as grand jury exhibits 33, 34, and 35.
Right, but not the search warrant.
Correct. Well, no, actually, I'm sorry.
Information in front of the grand jury about 6 search warrants that you hadn't seen and you put returns or information that had been returned in front of the grand jury on search warrants you had never seen?
So with
Answer that
the,
question.
and I'm trying to, so
Okay.
with regard to those three search warrants, that was 306, 307, and 329, which were the call detail records for your client, the victim, Mr. Simmons, and Mr. Jeanette. The materials that came back from the cell phone providers also contained a copy of the warrant, as well as the addendum to the warrant, which was then also provided to you and Ms. Costa in discovery.
But not the warrants themselves.
No, the warrants themselves and the addendums, not the application and not the affidavit.
Right, so you understand that in order to make a determination as to whether or not you're going to suppress certain information, you actually need what you asked for and what you, in the affidavit that told the clerk magistrate why you had probable cause, right?
Objection.
I can take judicial notice of that, and I'm sure Mr. Lally knows that.
Okay, so you get in front of the grand jury. When do you present this case to the grand jury?
Began in July of 2021. That grand jury sat in July, August, and September. The presentation had not been completed at that point, so there was a motion to extend the grand jury.
I don't understand this question. The candidate in the lead, was he in a position to do anything about Morrissey before? I don't understand the question. Are you talking about Deitch, the DA candidate who declared 2 weeks ago, the former Justice Department worker? No, he wasn't in a. Again, it's all fine and dandy that we can say, well, this is corrupt. Kind of like narcissism, people don't understand what corruption means, because it's not just that someone is biased against someone. That's not corruption. Corruption is a quid pro quo kind of deal. It's not enough that we feel that Bev is a very one-sided judge. That doesn't make her corrupt, and it's not something that you can build a case on. So if that's what you're asking about, if Deitch could have built a case against Morrissey, yeah, if the evidence was there, but apparently the evidence hasn't been there. And I think a lot of people need kind of like stop using narcissism just because you think someone is a bit full of themselves, or misogynist because he doesn't like one woman. Corruption is also one of those words, because all of it has real meanings, and people are sadly just going online and saying, well, they should do this. Maybe he could build a case when he was at the Justice Department, but they need evidence. And there won't be any evidence in a ship like this, because they have sailors like Adam Lally who knows, if I sing, my life is over. So they won't sing. So I don't know if that was the guy you were referring to, but that was the rant I went on.
And I believe there was one subsequent date that we went before them on November 19th, 2021.
November what?
19th, 2021, that's when indictments were returned.
In 2021?
Correct.
Okay. So at some point when Mr. King is arraigned,
Name 5 points of corruption. What corruption has been exposed? Corruption needs you to prove quid pro quo. It's not enough to say that they did some bad shit. That's not corruption. Corruption is, I'm going to pay you. And it's not enough that I say, we're going to give you a gift when this is over. And you say, give it to my wife. She deserves it. You need to show they took money, goods, services, and provided it to them. That's one of the things that the post committee found out. They couldn't prove that Proctor had received anything. Corruption needs provable quid pro quo. It's not enough that they are shitty at their job or they're closing their eyes for justice. That's not corruption. And I feel like a lot of people are just saying it just like they're saying narcissist. Narcissist is not just someone who is full of themselves like I am, with our heads in the clouds and think that we're better than everyone else. That's not narcissism. So corruption must be proven. It's not enough that you feel that they're corrupt. You can have all the opinions that they were corrupt, but to keep or to bring that into a courtroom, you will have to have receipts, dates, witnesses, evidence. And no one has come forward with anything that shows corruption. All of us knows that it's a shitty system they have, but it doesn't make it corruption legally because they have to prove it. And you won't get anyone, and I've said this 1,000 times. Everyone is like, oh, Proctor should sing. No, he shouldn't. His quid pro quo is if he can shut the fuck up and sit in his seat and not get too involved in all of these cases, he will get some kind of mid-level security job that'll land him 150,000 in 2 years' time. He has no reason to sing about all the shit that goes on behind the scenes at the DA's office. And as long as they don't get that, there's no corruption. Corruption is a legal term. The overtime scandal has been solved so that's done. The CDL scandal has also gone to trial. The Sandra Birchmore is a federal indictment that the state still believe isn't there. And again, the CDL was not corruption. That would be bribery and selling or misappropriating. Again, some of this, yes, it proves that you have a shitty culture, but it's not enough to say that the Massachusetts State Police is corrupt. It's 3 guys who sold CDLs. Sandra Birchmore, the state still believes, and that's what you should think about. It's not corruption. It's not all of this, could Dietz do this, could Dietz do that. You should think about why does the state, when Farwell, who yesterday was mentioned, he will not be getting the death penalty. They are not going for it. Why do they still believe in the state? There is no state charges against him. The official statement from the state is Sandra Birchmore killed herself. You should think about that one.
You understand at that point, Rule 14 kicks in, right?
Yes, I mean, I'm thinking about Rule 14 well before that.
Okay. And when you arraign Mr. King, you still don't have the search warrant. You have another conversation with Trooper Proctor about, hey, where are these search warrants? I have to turn them over.
I'm sure I did.
And do you know when that would have been?
I don't.
Okay. And then, remember at some point in December of 2021, receiving a discovery notice from me. Hey, Proctor, what is your honor?
Yes.
This is just my discovery notice.
Yeah, they haven't looked at the other 2 involved in it.
Discovery motion, or what is
Motion,
that?
I'm sorry, motion, yes.
The federal.
Yes.
Okay. And do you remember, after having filed this motion, you asked the time to go through and make sure that you can comply with all the requests, right?
Yes.
And you didn't have any specific objections to anything that I was asking for, right?
At that time, no.
Okay. May I approach the witness, Your Honor?
Yes.
Sorry, Judge.
Is that an exhibit? Is that a docket entry?
It is a docket entry, Judge.
You know what it is?
I think it's,
Or we can mark that just so that there's a record of what you're showing the witness?
has my writing on it, Judge. So
All right,
I won't
so-
mark it. But I'll do it after the hearing. I'll find the exhibit and I'll make a clean copy and send it to the court, Judge. So once you get the discovery notice, you know for sure that there are certain categories of information that we're looking for, right?
Yes.
And number 1 is all automatic mandatory discovery under Rule 14, right?
Correct.
Would you consider those search warrants automatic mandatory discovery under Rule 14?
Oh, yeah. Again, yes. But it's just, I think words matter because I get really angry about being called a misogynist, and I find that because people will just say it in every chat, this is corruption. No, it's not corruption. Corruption is a pay-for-play scam or I scratch your back, you scratch mine. Deitz might have insights into something going on at DA's office, but no charges have been brought against the DA's office, and everyone who is still believing Sean of the Gulf, who said the feds will never let it go to trial, the feds did let it go to trial. The feds didn't stop trial 1 or trial 2. The feds are not going to do anything about Michael Morrissey's office. That's most likely why Deitz said, fuck it. I got some dirt on the guy. I can use it in an election campaign if he has an opportunity to do it, or maybe pressure him by just putting his name out there, and Morrissey will then refuse to run again because he needs his retirement. And that's most likely what's going to happen. And when he then gets the job, yeah, he can start bringing in the big broom.
Okay. And we were looking for any and all statements of witnesses, is that right?
Yes.
And we were looking for all exculpatory information, whether
The
tangible.
document speaks for itself.
Okay, that's fine, Judge. So after I filed this motion to December of 2021, you have another conversation with Trooper Proctor saying, give me the 6 search warrants.
I'm sure I did. My general practice is if there is any discovery motion that's filed by counsel, what I'll do is I'll send that to the appropriate,
I've mentioned this a million times, Money. If the feds had something and started something, they would go to Proctor and say, okay, buddy, we will give you a really good deal. We have you on this, that, and the other. He is the sacrificial lamb right now. But if the feds wanted to do something, they should flip Proctor, but it's not going to happen. The feds, all of a sudden, everyone in Massachusetts thought the feds were going to fix something. When's the last time you thought, well, FBI is a good idea. Let's shoot some dogs and raid some compounds. I don't think more will come from it because Karen Reed was found not guilty. So I don't think they're going to do anything else. They're going to go out there. They probably told Morrissey maybe a pension would be a good idea for you. I'm spitballing. But if they want to switch anyone, because Proctor has no reason to switch right now, if they could bring charges against him, I bet you he would be singing louder than the Supreme Ballerina Singer, whatever it's called, and the opera.
police personnel as far as making requests and making sure that they're apprised of what's been at least asked for.
Excuse me, and did you do that in this case? Did you send my motion for discovery to Trooper Proctor, to the Milton Police, to the crime lab, to the medical examiner's office? Did you send it to all of those entities?
Every motion that you filed, yes.
Okay. And then what do you do to follow up with each of those entities? Let's start with the state police. They get a copy of my discovery motion. You're looking for all of the evidence that they have, and specifically these 6 search warrants that, for whatever reason, Trooper Proctor hasn't given you. When you follow up, how long does it take you to follow up from the time that you give them the motion until you get an answer from them?
Specifically, I don't know. Typically, I would give it a couple of weeks or so.
And after a couple, and in this case, did you give it a couple of weeks, you think?
Probably.
Okay. And then what happens?
And then I'll follow up again.
When you say follow up, do you send another email, or do you get in your car and drive down there and say, we got to end this, give me this stuff?
I would email or a phone call.
Okay. And so did you email or phone call, or make a phone call to Trooper Proctor in this case?
I'm sure I did.
And what was his response?
I don't
when
recall.
you asked for the 6 search warrants?
I don't recall.
Well, do you have any notes of your conversation with him? Remember you taking notes?
I don't believe so, no.
Is there a reason that you didn't take notes when you spoke to Trooper Proctor after these search warrants had become an issue? That you wouldn't take notes of what Trooper Proctor told you about the search warrants?
So you're asking me about a conversation that I don't recall specifically when it happened or exactly what was said. So whether or not I took notes for that conversation, I don't know. What I would do typically in my general practice is to follow up with whoever I had outstanding discovery requests in relation to try to get whatever information that I was seeking.
Okay, and so did you follow up with Trooper Proctor about the six search warrants?
I'm sure I did, amongst probably a number of other items.
Okay, and then you knew this case was going in for another date on discovery, right?
Yes.
And you knew you'd have to answer to the court what you've provided and what's outstanding. Isn't that typically how it goes on discovery dates?
Yes.
Did you ever tell the court, geez, I have these 6 search warrants that Trooper Proctor has, I can't get my hands on them, can you issue an order, or can you help me out here?
Did I do that? No.
So,
What
when
did
you went to court, do you remember representing to the court that discovery was ongoing and that you were producing as much information as you could? Remember that?
Typically, that's what I would say if that was the case, yes.
Okay. But you knew when you represented that to the court that you didn't have the search warrants, right?
Yes.
So what was your plan? How are you going to get them?
As I stated, what my practice would be if there was some outstanding item of discovery, I would request it and follow up if I hadn't received it.
But you did that. You requested it 5 times. You went to see him. Then you got my discovery motion. You sent that to him. You waited another month. And then what happened?
I don't recall.
Well, don't you tell him, get me these things now, I'm coming down your office?
Objection.
Buy me something nice.
Did I ever tell him that? No.
Okay. So what do you do when he's not complying with your request? Let me ask you this. What's the policy in the office of the District Attorney's Office in Norfolk County when a state trooper is not complying?
We read his article yesterday about how there is 119 average day waiting period, but some of these cases has been waiting for years. And especially when the cops are out on paid leave, that's another FU to all the taxpayers.
With a request for discovery.
Objection. Overruled if there is a policy.
What's the policy?
I don't know any specific policy related to that.
Okay. So do you go?
How can you not have a policy, because you know you're going to go to court and you're going to go ask all of these questions? You should have policies for how to preserve evidence and how to make sure that you follow up on the request you make. All of this should be in a binder in every DA's office where they can pull it out and say, Proctor hasn't returned my first call. Second thing I'll do is I'll send a new email and I will add in his supervisor and my supervisor. So they now have a digital footprint that I have actively followed up on my first request that he didn't answer. My third thing, when he hasn't replied within 5 working days, is go over there, set up a meeting, talk to him and say, why the hell didn't you do it? Have him sign that we had a meeting so I can prove that my ass is clean. It's Proctor who didn't do his job. My ass is shining clean. You could eat a salad bar off of it. All of the mistakes made in this, I can then push to Proctor. Isn't that what you would normally do? You build in deniability. It's not enough just to say, I don't know. What? If you had done all of this, you could just pull out. Well, I contacted Proctor on December 1st. Then I contacted him again on February 1st. I added in DA Morrissey and Bukaki, who is his leader. And then 5 days later, I had a personal meeting with him demanding that I had him sign that we had the meeting, that he understood that I need this, and I haven't gotten it. I tried the best I could. Why don't you have a protocol so your ass is clean? Yeah, that's a weasel way to do it, but then your ass, don't you want to protect yourself? Especially when you work with these assholes. If your ass isn't clean, you need a bidet, maybe one that shoots bleach if you're going to eat salad off of it. Well, I wouldn't recommend eating a salad of you could get pink eye. Probably not the best idea, you're right. No, I'm pretty sure that's something very different than eating a salad. Don't go to Urban Dictionary. The word of the day now, Brandon, is taking a break. Was just put in there by Haystacks fan. Don't go in Urban Dictionary and find out what that is.
Go to your supervisor then and say, hey, I've asked Trooper Proctor 5, 6, 7 times for these search warrants. I've been down to his.
Yeah, I just mentioned it earlier. They were not seeking the death penalty. Again, let me be the first to always piss on everyone's parade. Most police officers will get a little professional courtesy, so they won't charge him. Till anyone else gets indicted, I don't believe anyone is singing. I will always be the guy pissing on everyone's parade because I don't trust the feds.
To see him in person at least once. He's not giving them to me. What do I do?
No.
Did you ever have another case other than Mr. King and Ms. Gardner?
Marissa, this is the same. That's why you put in every DPIC not authorized by Marissa, so you don't get in trouble with all my unsolicited DPICs. You build in contingencies, so you always have deniability.
Case where a state trooper didn't give you search warrants that he had been asking for.
Get your real name back. I know it's none of your business, and I look at it and I said, "You're not Haystacks."
Since before indictment?
Objection. Overruled.
Not that I recall, no.
Okay.
Your Honor, may I be heard on one slight issue? The discovery that, the discovery request the counsel is speaking to, I don't believe that it was ever docketed. I don't have a copy of it. I've never seen it. So
The motion, the motion?
the
Motion for discovery was filed. He got.
But
It may not have reached the docket, as I guess.
I want to make sure that you see it, though. Let's make sure you,
Speaking about it a lot here, and
no.
I've never seen it.
Attorney Scapiccio, can you just give it to Mr. McGee for a second?
Sure. You think it would be in the file?
I would think it would be in a file. Is that a clean copy?
That is a clean copy, Judge.
Can we mark that? Should we mark it?
It's unsigned, and it's probably, I don't know if it's a draft or a.
Miss Jessica, I was about to end it when money came in, like I always do, but I thought, nah, today shouldn't be the day where she ends the stream. It'll get to her at some point.
Oh, the non-signed, all right, so let me get you a signed copy, Judge.
I don't know what was.
The bottom line is, this witness said he received it, Judge. I know I wouldn't have not filed it. We talked about it in the hearing. And I think there is a transcript, Judge, of a hearing where we talked about the discovery motion and the court had it.
All right, we'll
In front of it.
figure that out.
Can you guys take the transcript?
We do have a, ADA Hickman did have a copy.
You do have a copy?
I never saw it on the docket. I was working right off the docket.
Okay.
So,
And just so the record is clear, we have marked it? You want it marked as Exhibit 1 in this hearing?
yes, Judge.
Sure.
All right.
Get you a signed copy, apparently.
All right, that will be Exhibit 1.
Thank you. I'd also, at some point, Judge, like to mark the pretrial conference report, in this case.
Thank you.
So this had never happened to you before, Attorney Rowley, and you didn't go to Lynn Beelan, who was your supervisor, and ask her what to do. What was your plan? How were you going to solve it?
I don't recall specifically having a plan. If there was a situation where I was asking a trooper or a case officer for something and I had not yet received it, I might get that person's supervisor involved as far as saying, I've asked for this a few times, I don't have it.
Okay, so let's stop there. Trooper Tully was Trooper Proctor's supervisor, is that right?
Yes.
Did you go to Trooper Tully and say, hey, I don't know what the deal is, but I can't get these 6 search warrants from Trooper Proctor. Can you have him send them to me?
Specifically about the search warrants, I don't recall.
You didn't go to a supervisor.
I don't know if I did or I didn't.
But as you sit here today, you don't remember going to a supervisor, is that right?
I know that there were a number of meetings in relation to discovery that Lieutenant Tully was present for, along with Trooper Proctor, but going specifically to his office to demand 6 search warrants, I don't recall that.
Okay. So how much time goes by before you ask for the search warrants again?
I don't know.
Is it a year?
I don't know.
During the time period, it's fair to say that we were appearing in court every couple of months on discovery, right?
Yes.
Outside of the Karen Reed trial case, what do you feel like is the best hearing court date that shows corruption incompetence? Corruption, I have never ever seen corruption in any court date, any hearing in the almost 3.5 years I have been, because corruption is a legal term. And the closest you get is probably Becky, whatever her name is, yesterday, who used her job to enhance her income. But incompetence, I would actually say most incompetence I've seen so far. Well, Massachusetts is just a hellhole of incompetence. But other than that, a lot of it will be on defense lawyers who just don't give a fuck. But I think this is the worst, and this isn't the Karen Reed trial, so I can use this. This is the worst I've ever heard anyone try to protect their ass. I'm just saying, if he went to prison, he
Yes.
Did you ever notify the court on any of those court appearances that you were having trouble getting custody of the 6 search warrants that were issued in this case?
No.
Okay. Now, you talked about having meetings, discovery meetings. Tell us what those are.
At various points, probably more towards the early stages, or if there's something that's significant that comes up, it would be just a meeting in relation to, this is the discovery that's outstanding, this is what I'm looking for, what's the ETA on this, when should I expect to receive this?
And are those meetings in person or on the phone?
Typically in person.
And do they take place at the DA's office or at the state police?
Well, I mean, in this specific instance, the state police is attached to the DA's office, so it's the same building. So whether it was my end of the hall or their end of the hall, I don't know.
Okay. And do you remember discussing the search warrants and the outstanding nature of the search warrants at the first discovery meeting?
Yes.
And what was the response?
The search warrants are still ongoing, as some of those search warrants were not just July. I believe it continued into probably September of 2021 as far as the last of the search warrants. I could be off on those dates, but
so how many motions or how many meetings do you have regarding discovery before the return or before the return of the search warrant in July of 2021, if that's the date?
not many. I mean, the murder occurs on July 10th, so there's not a lot of time in between that. So probably 2 at the most.
2, okay. And you don't take
Why don't you have a calendar that you can pull up and say, I had 3 meetings with him? Why don't you have a calendar? A calendar would save all of this, so you don't have to sit and guess, oh, that's why you have it, so you can always deny meetings.
any notes on those meetings either?
Charlene, if you look at the bottom, it says that this is a rewatch. We covered today's hearing. That was like 30 minutes or something like that. And now we're rewatching Lally not doing his job from 4 months ago.
I don't know.
But I guess I can't figure out, how do you keep track? If you have this list that says all these things are outstanding and you're having these meetings because there's things outstanding, if you're not taking notes at these meetings, how do you know what people are saying and when to expect the discussion?
So if there was something that specifically was known as far as, this is what's going on with this piece, and anticipated sort of ETA on return or something, then yeah, there would probably be a note about that.
All right, so let's assume that the returns came back the latest July of 2021. Let's give you 3 months, August, September, October. October of 2021. Are you asking again for the search warrants that you still don't have?
We've been over this time period. I'm trying to figure out you went all the way through arraignment and and on the number of meetings and emails back and forth. I get it, but maybe you want to cover new ground.
I'm just trying to figure out, so let me ask a question. So when do you realize that you never turned over the search warrants? When do you realize that?
As far as the 2021,
Back up, when do you get the search warrant in your custody?
in my custody,
Yes.
I would say probably I became aware of it about a month ago.
In 2025,
Yes,
July of 2025, or June of 2025,
yes,
is the first time you became aware that you didn't turn over the search warrant?
yes. If I had been aware earlier, then I would have turned over the search warrants.
But you had your list, right? You had your list that said 6 search warrants outstanding, right?
Yes,
You didn't ever check that off, right?
no,
So you knew they were outstanding, right?
yes.
Okay, and then when did they get to your file?
Again, so as far as my file, they did not. Again, I became aware of it after the case had been transferred from myself to ADA Hickman.
Well, let's talk about that. What date was the case transferred from you to ADA Hickman?
I'd say probably somewhere in October or November of 2024.
2024.
Yes.
And how does the case, let me just say in general, how does the case get transferred from one DA to another? Is there a policy within the Norfolk County District Attorney's Office of what needs to get done to transfer a file?
No policy, no.
Okay. So what did you do in this case with Mr. King and Mr. Gardner to ensure that your complete file got in the hands of ADA Hickman?
So I physically took the physical file from my office to ADA Hickman's office.
Okay. And did you have a conversation with her?
Yes.
And did you tell her, hey, there's 6 search warrants that I was never able to get from Trooper Proctor?
Again, if I had known or remembered that the 6 search warrants were still outstanding, then I would have got them and provided them. So no, I did not reference that specifically.
But then at some point, ADA Hickman has to come back to you and say, did you not turn over these 6 search warrants? Say that to you?
No.
She never did.
Nope.
Did you ever have a conversation with ADA Hickman about the outstanding 6 search warrants?
Not until.
No, this has no relation to Karen Reed. This is related to the Myles King case. Myles King is a murder suspect in a case of, I think it was some rapper beef or something like that, or over a girl or whatever it is. And because Proctor is tied to that one, and the text from Proctor's came out, they're trying to find out how much shit Proctor made in that case. This is from 4 months ago, before they had the full dump of Proctor's phone. That's why we never got the follow-up hearing, because Proctor was supposed to have been there that day. He dodged the subpoena to be there. He was on vacation, and he was supposed to come in. Myles King will be the case I am looking forward to see if Proctor is going to burn all the shit down, because Myles King is a black man, and confirmed by Rosemary Scapicchio at the last hearing in this case, there are several racist texts found in the massive dump that they got from Proctor's phone, which will probably be brought up in a future hearing. And that's why Brian Walls, everyone thought that was going to be the big Proctor case, but Myles King will be the one that will go scorched earth, because if he is having these racist comments in his phone, that could show a clear bias against the defendant, and that's a big problem. I'm sending you a federal trial. I was a witness. I've educated people on behind the scenes deal with will blow people's minds in Chicago. We need a turtle boy, but no pressure if you don't want to cover it. The most part is no. Oh, sorry, that wasn't you. Federal cases are harder to cover because we can't get into the courtroom and getting the transcript. But send it to me. I'll read it and see if I can make heads and tails of it. But federal court is notoriously hard to cover because we don't get any footage, and it'll be less coverable.
Till recently, no.
Okay, and what transpired?
Objection.
Sustained.
Well, so when you told the court that discovery was almost complete, did you know when you made that representation that the sixth search warrant was still outstanding?
Objection.
I don't know what time frame we're talking about.
I also, as I've stated in my opposition, I've reviewed the FDRs on this from December and February and the other dates in 2025. That statement was never made. So,
That's
and
why
then
I want a
December
date. That's why I want a date.
and October as well, when Your Honor set this for trial. So thank you.
So when's the last time you remember answering on this case?
I believe it was December of 2024.
Could it have been January of 2024?
January 2024?
Oh, so let me back that up. In January of 2024, were you still representing the Commonwealth?
Yes.
Okay. And do you remember there being a hearing regarding discovery?
Not specifically, but I'm sure there
Okay.
were.
And do you remember, excuse me, do you remember the court asking about discovery and how the discovery was proceeding?
I'm sure it happened. I don't recall that specific date or what was asked.
Okay.
You don't know nothing, do you?
And do you remember telling the court in January of 2024 that you were hopeful that by March of 2024, we could proceed forward because discovery would be complete? Remember that?
I don't.
Okay. May I approach the witness?
Yes.
It's from when? So I wasn't able to get it.
January of 2024.
I couldn't get it. I know. Show you the request. Okay.
May I approach the witness?
Yes.
I'm going to give you the transcript of the appearance before this court on January 24, 2024, and ask you to look on page 5 and tell me, read that, the bottom of page 5 to yourself and the top of page 6.
Yes.
Does that refresh your memory as to whether or not in January 2024, you told this court that substantially discovery was complete? There might be 1 or 2 items that are outstanding, but can we get them to us?
I didn't read that portion. I was reading the highlighted portion. If I could have a moment.
Sure.
He's such a slime ball.
I'm sorry, I'm not seeing what you're referring to in that
Well, do you remember
transcript.
telling the court, Your Honor, I think as far as discovery goes, we're in a fairly good position. Did you say that to the court?
I may have.
Look at lines 16, 17, and 18 on the document that's in front of you, Ms. Lally.
And what page, Ms. Attorney?
Page 4, lines 16, 17, and 18. The court asks, where are we, Ms. ADA Lally? And you say, Your Honor, I think as far as discovery goes, we're in a fairly good position. Did you say that?
Again, I'm sorry, in the transcript that you handed me, I don't see that.
Let me see, it's a different one. you remember, hold on, let me get this right.
Yeah, and he got
Do you
paid
remember telling the court,
600,000.
I was wrong, you were right. Do you remember telling the court there may be a couple of outstanding pieces, talking about discovery, that I'll check on, and some other pieces that I was speaking to Ms. Coster about? But I think hopefully that by March 11th date, we should be able to proceed forward. Remember saying that to the court?
Do I remember saying that to the court? No. If
Does reading that refresh your memory that you said it to the court?
I didn't read that portion, on what page are we on?
Yes.
You can read from here over to here,
Okay.
to yourself, please.
Sure.
Yes, that's correct.
Is that correct, memory? Maybe a rally that you indicated to the court that, get this exactly right, there may be a couple of outstanding pieces that I'll check on, and some other pieces that I was speaking to Ms. Coster about, but hopefully by the March 11th date, we should be able to proceed forward. Did you say that to the court?
Well, those are two. So does it refresh my memory? No, but according to that transcript, that's what I said, yes.
Okay. And you know at that point that there were still 6 outstanding search warrants that you didn't have?
No, again, if I had known, then I would have gotten them and provided them.
Okay. But weren't we talking about search warrants on this day?
You're talking about 2022 search warrants, which were in a subsequent notice of discovery related to a cell tower dump. You were provided all of those as far as the application, the affidavit, the return, and copies of the warrants themselves.
Funny enough, he exactly remembers that part. He doesn't remember anything else, but this one where he has his ass free and Rosemary makes a mistake, he remembers to the T what was turned over.
So we're talking about search warrants,
Separate search warrants, yes.
and nothing's ringing the bell that you didn't turn over 6 search warrants?
Apparently not.
Okay. So the 2022 search warrants that we talked about in court back on January 24th of 2024. At that point, Mr. King was indicted, is that right?
Yes.
Was Ms. Gardner indicted?
Yes.
All right, so what process did you go through to issue the 2022 search warrants after indictment?
Through this court.
I'm sorry?
Through this court.
So you went to Superior Court and asked for these search warrants, is that right?
Myself personally, no.
Well, did you notify defense counsel that you were asking for search warrants in a case where a client had already been indicted?
No.
Do you know whether or not there's an obligation on behalf of the district attorney's office to notify defense counsel post-indictment if you're moving to request additional search warrants?
They weren't search warrants that were pertaining to the defendants. They were...
Question, do you know whether or not there is an obligation on behalf of the district attorney's office, you specifically, to notify defense counsel if you're seeking search warrants after indictment?
Objection. If this is a legal, yeah.
Sustained.
Thank you.
So in any event, we're talking about search warrants in January of 2024. You don't say anything about the search warrants that are still outstanding, those 6. And you tell the court there's only a few things that are outstanding then, is that right?
Yes.
Okay. And then we come back, we suggest March, and we come back in March, is that right?
I believe so, yes.
Okay. Then in March, do you tell the court, Your Honor, as far as discovery goes, we're in fairly good position. In regard to that, I believe that was turned over just prior at the last date, so there may be a couple of other additional items of discovery that I need to get and turn over. But otherwise, I think we're in a fairly good position. Did you say that to the court, sir?
Again, I don't...
Finish, Your Honor.
Yes. These transcripts in the FTR, what's on the FTR, what was said by whom, when, is all a matter of public record, and we can look at the FTR and get it. So specific quotes and what was said, what was represented, that's part of the record, and we can see
But I
that.
just have to set it up so I can ask the question that I want to ask, Judge.
Great.
Thank you. So after having made that representation to the court, did you do anything to get the 6 search warrants?
No.
What were the outstanding matters as far as you understood back in March of 2024?
I don't recall exactly what we were talking about on a court date in March of 2024.
Do you have any notes that would refresh your memory as to what was outstanding at that point?
I might.
And would they be in your file?
If they were anywhere, that's where they would be, yes.
Okay. Now, other than the discovery motion that we filed, did we also file a pretrial conference report in this case?
That I don't recall.
Okay. But you understand, normally we file a pretrial conference report where you agree to give me what I'm asking for, and we agree to file motions on stuff we can't agree on. Is that typically how it goes?
Yes.
Okay. And you don't remember signing a pretrial conference report? Not that you didn't, you just don't recall.
I don't recall every pretrial conference report I've signed.
Okay. And then we talked about the meeting with the state police. Did you have any meetings with the Milton Police regarding outstanding discovery?
In-person meetings? No.
Did you send the Milton Police the same type of discovery request that you would have sent to the state police?
Yes.
And did you follow up with the Milton Police the same way that you say you followed up with the state police?
Yes.
And did you follow up specifically with Lieutenant Collins?
Yes.
And so what, in your mind, was outstanding on the Milton discovery that you were communicating with Lieutenant Collins regarding?
At what time?
Let's start at the beginning.
Again, it's the same type of information that you asked about before, as far as reports or photographs or any material that they might have pertinent to the case.
So whatever the Milton Police turned over to you, would you have kept notes of that somewhere?
Nope.
Yes.
Or there's been emails back and forth between you and Milton about what transpired?
Yes.
Okay. Did you have any trouble getting information from the Milton Police Department?
No.
When you asked for things, did they return your email and give you what you were looking for?
Yes.
Were there any reports from the Milton Police Department that you say you didn't have before you turned the case over to ADA Hickman?
There was one report, yes.
And what was that report regarding?
Mr. Turner.
I'm sorry?
Mr. Turner.
And what about Mr. Turner?
There was a report in the materials that ADA Hickman turned over in 2025 that was, I believe, offered by Detective Sergeant Clifford Murphy pertaining to Mr. Turner that I had never seen before.
Okay, and do you know why that wasn't turned over by the Milton Police Department?
No.
Did you go down to the Milton Police Department and look through their file?
No.
At any point in time when you were representing the Commonwealth, in this case, did you go down to the Milton Police Department and look through their file?
No.
Is that something that you would normally do in a homicide case? Go to the police officer's office and ask for the file?
At what point in the case?
At any point.
Typically, that would be something that I would endeavor to do closer to trial.
Closer to trial?
Yes.
So how could you make sure your obligation was satisfied if you're not meeting with the police until right before trial?
It's an ongoing duty and obligation that extends even beyond a trial.
Right, that's not my point. My point is, if you're not meeting with them and you're not going through their information, how do you know you've turned everything over to the defense?
Because I've requested it and I've been given assurances or information indicating that that is what they have.
Let me ask you the same question about the state police. Did you ever go through the state police file while you were handling the case, as opposed to making requests and even sitting down with the state police to make, face-to-face requests on an ongoing basis and all the follow-up contacts that you had? Did you ever actually request their whole file to go through it yourself?
No.
Okay.
And can you tell us, was there a policy within the Norfolk County District Attorney's Office of sitting down with police departments, whether it's state police or Milton Police, and reviewing their file prior to trial?
Not that I'm aware of, no.
Okay. So how far in advance of trial do you finally sit down and go through, let's take the Milton Police box?
It would depend, case to case, but it's something that I would probably do at least a few months ahead of trial.
A few months. And is that the first time that you put your hands on the actual box, or are you still dependent upon?
Times Lally has put his hands on the actual box is about the same amount I have had my hands on the actual box. Yes, that was a euphemism.
The Lieutenant Collins and other officers to give you what you're looking for.
No, that would be a time where I'm actually like, let me see the file and ensure that I have everything that you have.
Okay. And is there any prohibition to that meeting that you have a couple of months prior to trial happening right after indictment?
No, and that would be my practice now. So you're asking about sort of my general practice at the time. That would have been it at the time, but now I would do that much, much earlier in a case.
Okay. And the state police the same way? Did you sit down with them at some point and look through their file, or you never looked through their file?
No, as His Honor just asked, no, I didn't.
Okay. So I guess my question is, how did it work? Did they only look through their file and send you what you're asking for? Or at any point did they send you, here's everything that we have?
My request and my ask was for everything they had. So as far as me then double checking to ensure that I have everything they have, that would be something that would occur later on. And as I just indicated, my practice now would be to do that much earlier in the case.
Okay. So when you go, in this case, you knew we had picked a September 8th trial date, right?
I was aware, yes.
Okay. So you knew the case was ready for trial on September 8th. When were you planning on sitting down with the Milton Police and going through their file?
As the case was reassigned to ADA Hickman around the time that we selected the trial date, I don't know that I had a specific plan to do that. I did have a specific plan to meet with ADA Hickman to go through the file to ensure that she had everything that was there.
So by the time she had taken over in January of 2025, you had not made any plans to sit down with the Milton Police to go through their file, is that right?
She had taken over prior to that, but no, I hadn't.
Okay, and the same with the state police, is that right?
Correct.
Okay, so when you're updating ADA Hickman, when she takes over the case, do you tell her, I've never actually seen the files, it's on my list of things to do, but I never get down there, you should get down and take a look at the files?
Not that specific, but yes.
What did you tell her?
That, during the regular trial preparation or meeting with the officers as it gets closer to trial, I would do that, but I hadn't done that yet.
Okay, so I still kind of understand. Is there like when the police give you something, do they just email it to you, or is there like a list to say, we gave ADA Lally these documents on this date?
At this point, Lally has been working for the DA's office for 25 years.
As far as their list,
Yes.
I have no idea what they have.
Okay. So you don't know, as you sit here today, if they have an index of all the things they say they gave to you?
I don't.
Okay. And do you, on the opposite side, have an index of the things you got from them?
It would be contained within those requests, yes.
All right, so at some point, do you print out all your requests and say, okay, let me just make sure I have everything here. I've been requesting something since, December of 2021. I want to make sure I have everything. Do you sit down and do that at some point to make sure everything you requested, you've received?
My general practice would be, yes, and that would be as I know we're getting closer to a trial date.
Attorney Scapiccio, it's a little after 11, and we're going to be able to go until about 11:10. And then I have to break because we're going to have to do the motions to suppress on the two other matters. So we need to think about an appropriate time to break. Maybe now is a good time to break, and we need to talk about another date when we can come back and continue the hearing.
So you're on.
Okay. Attorney Lally, you can.
And they never returned to continue the hearing because then all of the crap what the hell? I love that someone has been in my comments writing a message to Melanie Little I'm not sure she's going to read my comments, but you are probably right that Melanie Little is doing a great job covering the Walls case. Sometimes you're coming in and seeing these messages and thinking, is this for me? But that wasn't for me. I could tell that was about Melanie Little, who is doing a great job covering the Walls case. I am sure. I tried to watch a little bit of it yesterday. I just find it boring. But maybe it's because I am a fuddy-duddy, as it's called in French, el duddy del fuddy. And I don't like that case. But that was today's hearing in the Myles King case. We will be back in April, where we might have the continuance on this hearing, because who knows what is out there? Who knows what, if any, evidence will be turned over before that? That's the big question. Right now, no one knows anything. We know that they have outstanding Rule 14 discovery material, most likely because the DA's office hasn't finished going through Proctor's phone yet. They ask for more time. We know that Rosemary Scarpiccio says we need more time because we are just getting through this. We got turned over a different USB stick than we thought we were getting. So they will have a Zoom meeting. I don't know if we will be able to watch that Zoom meeting in March, where the defense must tell the judge what they need him to order the Commonwealth to do. Can, kick, road is kind of what all of this is turning into. And yeah, that's about it. Remember, on the 20th, we will be doing my annual Christmas weirdo thingy. Last year, I did 12 creators for Christmas. I had 13 creators come on. I think I have 13. In the lead into Christmas, I didn't want to do it this year because there have been all the stupid drama that's been out there, and I have been sick to death of being a YouTube creator, or whatever the hell you call us. So I wanted to do something different this year. I have acquired, as you can see, Santa's truck, Christmas decoration, and it's really hard when it's the opposite way, and the Lego Christmas tree. So far, I'm going to Copenhagen this weekend and going to the Lego store. Maybe I'll get some more. But I will do, instead of doing 12 days of Christmas, I will do 12 days for others, where we will be building some Legos. Hopefully, I can figure out to get that spaces to work. But yesterday, it crapped out on me again. And today, the TwitTwat app is really unstable. So probably TwitTwat is changing something in the background, and YouTube is changing something in the background. I hope we can get it to work so I can do call-ins, because I really want to learn more about you, talk more about you, and talk more to you. Maybe I can figure out how to use the Discord to do it, but I really want to have some options because I like the interaction. I will be drafting a note and inviting some YouTubers, some creators. Maybe they'll stop by. I haven't done it yet, and I'm not sure, right before Christmas. But we will then have different links for different fundraisers out there. Whatever we can figure out, there will be one for Aiden's Defense Fund, one for Kelsey Fitzsimmons' Defense Fund, and maybe Valhalla's his fund for his dad's estate, so it can get settled if he still needs that. I'll try and reach out to some people, or if I find something worthy, I'll put that up there too, and try and maybe I can do 12 hours of chit chatting, and maybe we can help each other out, because YouTube has become a cesspool. Not YouTube per se, but TwitTwat has become a cesspool of I hate you, I want to destroy you, and I don't want to do that. I want to do let's not be friends because it's impossible at this stage. Too many bridges have been burned. But I still believe that YouTube is a place where we can hang out, we can have fun, we can work together. We don't have to work with everyone. They don't have to work with us, but we can still try and put a little smile on someone's faces, try and be a place where people can come together, hang out. I like that we have a nice chat going, and it's going to be on the 20th of December. Is where I have planned it. It's going to be Eastern time, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. because that'll be 12 o'clock to 12 o'clock my time. So everyone all over the world should have a chance to stop by and wish each other a Merry Christmas and all of that crabiola that we need to do in the holidays. I won't be drinking eggnog because I don't know what it is, but maybe I'll eat some cookies or whatever I'm going to do. And as I mentioned yesterday, some people had asked if I could make a wish list because they wanted to give me some Christmas presents, and it's very, very generous and very thoughtful of you. I don't need anything, and I don't have anything right now that I need. I would rather, if you want to send me a care package or a stupid high school T-shirt or a cap for your favorite the U University. I think that's in Miami. If you are, I don't know, if you're a fan of the Twin City Mud Hens or whatever they are called, hey, especially if you can get together a few people and send a one big packet so I don't have to pay import tax on all of them. I would rather have that because I can bring it on show. If you send me some stupid cakes or chips or sodas or whatever, I can try it on stream. I can make some content out of it, and I can have some fun with it as well. I don't need I have my lights, I have my studio, I have my camera. I don't need anything other than that. You are way too generous to people who have asked, but I always like when I get hats, t-shirts, whatever. No baldos, but I like funny gifts, and I like to see what you like, because I've gotten care packets from the New England area. I've gotten from the Chicago area, and I got from Canada. Yeah, I believe I got from Canada as well. I find that's way more. I find that way more interesting. You can get a laugh out of it. You can send me dill chips and I can burn them because I don't like anything dill flavored. So Marissa did that to me. Or you can send me hot sauce or whatever. I really like if you have too much chili honey sauce or whatever it's called, I like that. I remember that. That is why I popped in today. I look for you all tomorrow. Oh, okay. This is from 4 months ago. Yes, 4 months ago. So late summer, early spring, early fall. But thank you so much for the wonderful thing about making an Amazon wish list. Sadly, I will not have my hot girl summer this summer, so I don't need any bras or any bikinis like my good friend Twisted Tragedies. But if you want to send me some stupid stuff, or some other people who live in the same area as you and who want to do something, send me something that's specific to your area, like again a Bucky's hat or a Twin City Twister or whatever they are called, because I like wearing stuff like that on screen, and it's funny. Hot Girl Spring. I might be going to Massachusetts in the spring, so I won't be I'll only be sitting with my binoculars and looking at the wildlife, considering how the hell is this a state, because I have seen Lally in action. Other than that, go out there, have fun, smile, enjoy the day. See you later.
I'm Jimmy. How y'all doing?
I know English is your second language, but you don't word
It's
your
my
questions
third, but
carefully.
I'm still better at it than you. You are
The most important people in this case that everybody seems to have forgotten in this room is the jury. So we're going to take a 15-minute break and both sides take a pregnant pause and think about the jury.